A cold day in Western New York as the Patriots meet the Bills. At the start of Week 14, the New England playoff chances are very good, but the Bills, 2-10 as they may be, are always dangerous. The kickoff is next. East rivals, the Patriots under Bill Belichick after that 1-3 start. Some people calling for maybe Belichick to be fired, according to owner Bob Kraft, and now he could be a leading contender for Coach of the Year.
That's right, Don. And there's Greg Williams, the new head coach of the Buffalo Bills, struggling through his first season as head coach here. Came in with high expectations, but salary cap problems have forced them to let some players go that right now Greg Williams wishes he had back.
There's Adam Vinatieri ready to kick off. One problem for the Patriots, they have given up kick return yards. Vinatieri hits a high spinning kick that'll carry short. Coming down with the ball is Sean Bryson, a big back from Tennessee, and he breaks it across the 30-yard line and gets to the 31. 16-yard return on the play as we look at Alex Van Pelt. In his 9th year in the NFL out of Pittsburgh, broke a lot of Dan Marino's passing records at the University of Pittsburgh, and has a quarterback rating as a starter for the Bills of over 80.
He's been a steadying influence, Don, and I think more so than anything, he's more well-versed in this West Coast offense, and he gets rid of the ball on time.
Yeah, he makes quick drops, makes quick decisions, and that's the reason he's been more effective moving the team. So the Bills go from just across their 30-yard line. Takes the pitch, makes the throw, a drop ball at the 43-yard line to his best receiver, Eric Moulds, who in the first meeting against the Patriots, Moulds was held to 3 catches for just 7 yards. We look at the Bills' offensive front, Fina and Brown on the left side, the veterans. Now Strowski's been a big help since he's come back.
Yeah, his presence has really solidified the offensive line in the last 3 weeks.
Travis Henry, a rookie runner from Tennessee, is coming off a 100-yard rushing game in the win over Carolina last week. On 2nd and 10, Van Pelt hands off to Travis Henry, and he tries the Patriot defense on its right side. And the Patriots, who give up yards grudgingly, Cleveland got only 51 yards rushing against them last week. The stop made by rookie Richard Seymour, the #1 draft choice, who's playing very well. The whole defense is playing well. Bruschi has moved to the middle because of the injury to Ted Johnson. Vrabel and Pfeiffer, 2 veterans, have been terrific on the outside. Bucky Jones going at free safety. He intercepted the first pass of Tim Couch last week.
That's Romeo Crennel, the defensive coordinator. He coaches a very physical defense. If you lose to the Patriots, it may well count too, because you'll be hurt next week as well.
A lot of teams have been losing the next week after they play the Patriots. They're beat up. Here's the throw and a tip ball. As getting a hand on the ball was Mike Vrabel, a former All-American defensive end at Ohio State, who came in here as a free agent to New England. He's intercepted 2 this year, and he's also has 3 sacks. He's been a very sound influence on the left outside.
And one of the things about this Patriot team is they've got a lot of veteran backups. The guys came in, signed 1-year deals. They're guys Belichick knows, like Brian Cox, David Patton, guys like that, and it has really made a difference for this Patriot team.
Now the Bills 3 and out, so they punt the ball. Troy Brown and Kevin Falk are back. Troy Brown, the leading punt returner in the American Conference. It's Falk, though, that's going to field it back at the 14-yard line. And a very strong special teams play by Reggie Germany, a rookie from Ohio State, number 84. A 51-yard punt by Moorman and no return. And there is Tom Brady, one of the great news stories in the NFL. Threw all of 3 passes last season as a rookie, and now he's one of the leading passers in the NFL.
I think the amazing thing, Don, has been his consistency. So many times a young guy will come in, he'll be great one week and bad the next. Not this guy. He's been consistently good ever since he took his first snap.
8-3 as a starter after Drew Bledsoe was hurt. There's Brady. Handoff, and the former Bill Antoine Smith slams it right at his former teammates. Stopped by linebacker Jay Foreman. As we look at the offensive blockers for the Patriots, a rookie at left tackle in Light, Compton, Woody, Andruzzi, and Robinson Randall.
Yeah, keep an eye on Damian Woody. He dominated in the last meeting between these 2 teams.
Troy Brown and David Patton, the wideouts. Not much production from the tight end from a pass catching standpoint.
And there's the guy. He absolutely is key to their running game today, and it's important in the cold weather.
Woody, the 3rd-year center out of Boston College, pitch back on 2nd down, and look at Antoine Smith running with a vengeance as he takes it across the 30. So we look at the Bills now on defense after a 9-yard run by Smith. Hansen's a veteran, but not much experience after that.
Yeah, Ron Edwards makes his first start as a professional today.
A rookie starts at middle linebacker. Brandon Spoon.
In for Sam Coward, who they lost in the opening day this year.
Rookie Nate Clements on the right side, their #1 pick, is dangerous. He scored 2 touchdowns. One on a punt return, one on an interception return of Peyton Manning. First down, Patriots. Brady, timing throw, makes the connection, and bringing it down is Terry Glenn, who number 88. Tom Brady telling us yesterday, Steve, that the whole pass offense changed when Terry Glenn's in there.
Well, that's an understatement. Not just for the Patriots, it changes for a defense who's trying to play this team. All of a sudden, they've got 3 good wideouts, and you'd better have 3 good cornerbacks to match up. I don't know if the Buffalo Bills do that. Do have 3 good cornerbacks. Terry Glenn really changes the dynamics of this game.
Glenn has caught 11 passes, but he's only played in 2 games, including last week. Glenn has the ball very close to a first down.
Well, that's a testament. Yeah, that's a testament to his abilities. I mean, even though he hasn't played much, the threat of Terry Glenn being in the game plan is a huge headache for defensive coordinators.
Remarkable speed and quickness. Somebody said, Steve, he could get separation from a defensive back in a phone booth. Tough to cover. Terry Glenn, who can be great when he's in the lineup. A troubled season for him, and now the handoff goes to Antoine Smith again, and he's across the 45-yard line as the Patriot offensive line is winning the early battle in the trenches.
You see here Antoine Smith, who was a Buffalo Bill during '97 for 840. Then he had a big year in 1998, and then as his yards decreased, he was injured through most of that, had foot problems, ankle problems, and got in the doghouse with an offensive coordinator during a struggling year for this team. Found a home in New England and has thrived.
Boy, he was a happy guy when we talked to him yesterday.
Well, how could you not be?
The go-to guy, and he has delivered the goods. Pitch back, Smith. And he breaks it again and gets out to midfield on a 2nd down and 6 run. He is ahead before he's brought down by the rookie Ron Edwards, number 98. But the game plan pretty basic right now for the Patriots. Pounded at him. The offensive line of the Patriots right now, Steve, much better than that young defensive front of the Bills.
Well, the Bills, because of injuries, are starting 2 rookies, and Phil Hansen has 144 starts himself. The rest of those guys have 6, and you've got to think that the Patriots like that matchup. If they can't beat them with physical ability, certainly they can beat them with experience.
And that running of Smith is going to set up the passing game very soon because the Bills have to play run. Antoine Smith, 4 carries, 19 yards. Now a swing pass. Kevin Falk dives ahead, and on 3rd down, did he get there?
It's going to depend on the spot. It's going to be very close. The official gave not a very good spot by the official. I thought he got much more yardage than they're giving him on that. And
yeah,
he did
well
not.
Short of it.
Yeah, he did not make the 1st down. That surprises me.
The rookie Nate Clements was on the stop.
As Kevin Falk going out to the right of your screen, just got to get to about the 40. Yeah, he did. He slid forward, came up shy about a half a yard.
Now Ken Waller, number 13, into punt. Been a very effective punter since he's come in. 37 plus on the net yardage. NFL leader. Hits the ball high. Bills won't touch it. Makes a big Patriot hop all the way down inside the 5-yard line.
I've seen that before, Don.
You're usually on the end of the guys that covered it.
In the bad weather, the punter's best friend is the bounce.
Back to Ralph Wilson Stadium on a cold day. Chill factors at this point, 30 degrees and dropping. As after a 46-yard punt with no return, the Bills start deep in their own end. Travis Henry finds again, gets out to the 5-yard line.
A moment ago, you saw this field position take place because of a bounce. This ball came end over end, tumbling out of the sky and bounced right towards the end zone. You see there, that is a huge swing in field position. And that's what happens on a cold day, Don. Sometimes a punt returner, let alone, is afraid to field the ball because of the wind. It's also more difficult, and in a hard surface like turf, you're always going to get a good bounce on a punt.
Well, the punt returner, Peerless Price, he didn't want any part of the ball. He backed up it. Van Pelt And the Bills up against it now. This aggressive, swarming Patriot defense again attacks the ball. Bruschi, the middle backers there. With Steve Tasker, our broadcast partner, rushing at end for the Bills. New England's Sean McCarthy unloaded the 93-yard punt, which is the longest in Patriots history, and the third longest punt in NFL history. Steve, you should have got there a little faster.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, look at this roll. That's like a 35-yard roll. It's going to keep going. That's a nightmare. That's why this series is always so close, Don. These teams beat each other up, and nobody can get an edge.
A history of close games between the Bills and the Patriots. Third down now, and the Bills need 7. Van Pelt stands in, makes a throw, and it's incomplete. And the Bills will have to punt the ball from their end zone. A big rush by Teddy Bruschi.
Yeah, the Patriots got good pressure, and also Jay Remersma slipped and fell down coming out of his route. That play had no chance. We'll see if Buffalo can exchange field position, but right now the Patriots are getting the best of it. Field position, Troy Brown standing right at midfield to receive the punt.
Troy Brown is back. He broke an 85-yarder for a touchdown. And here's the booming punt downfield. Brown backpedaling to his 35. 45. And he gives the Patriots excellent field position, averaging 14 yards a punt return. Chris Watson was on the tackle, a 58-yard punt. George in the Niagara Falls, and about 25 miles away from Orchard Park. As Brady hands off again, they go to Antoine Smith. And Smith, who was an 1,100-yard rusher with the Bills before they stopped giving him the ball, that was back in '98, breaks another good game before Brandon Spoon makes the stop. There's a big overmatch here, Steve.
You're right, and as long as Tom Brady can hand the ball off to Antoine Smith, Brady's going to have a very easy day at the office.
Very productive day earlier. Antoine Smith has run the ball 5 times and already has 25 yards. Or Antoine Smith, or plus yards as he drives close to a first down. It'll bring up 3rd and less than a yard. On the sideline, Drew Bledsoe awaiting his turn, coming off the injury. Said the best quarterback's going to play, and I get my chance in the summer. I expect to be the best quarterback.
That's exactly right, Nick. Bledsoe said, you know, he gave Brady the same advice his dad gave him. Hey, throw it to our guys, not to theirs. Yep. You can make this game as complicated as you want, Don. It'll never be rocket science.
He threw it to the right guys an awful lot in his time, Drew Bledsoe, and his time has a long way to go, only in his 9th year. Recently turned 30.
This quarterback situation is a tribute to both these guys. They've handled it as well as anybody possibly could have.
They have. They've remained good friends through it all. Now they give to the up back, the fullback, and Mark Edwards cracks the Bills' defensive front. He gets a first down for New England. Newman on the tackle.
You never like to see that as a defense, Don. 3 straight runs and a first down. If you can't stop the run on 3 straight downs to give up a first down, you're in deep trouble. And this Buffalo Bills defense has got a lot of young players playing on it. But this is a time when, at this point of the season, they're 2-10. These guys have got to step up and play, or they're not going to be a Buffalo Bill next year.
Well, the rushing yards certainly indicate the way the Patriots have controlled this scoreless game so far. Again they go, and now a play of fake, and they get the ball to Troy Brown, and he's not done with an array of blockers in front of him. Troy Brown putting on moves, and he stops ahead down to the 30-yard line. An 8-yard gain on the play.
You don't mind running a play like that with Troy Brown, because if it's sniffed out, which it is here by the Buffalo Bills, watch. Keon Carpenter backs out, and he sniffs it out and runs and covers the receiver, but Troy Brown, being a great kick returner, all of a sudden it's a little picket fence off to the left side, and he picks up almost enough for a first down. That's why you don't mind trying those trick plays. With a guy like Troy Brown, he'll make something out of nothing.
Charlie Weiss, the offensive coordinator, he's been going to that bag of tricks often for New England. Another Antoine Smith run, and this power runner, a real hammer, a straight line runner, takes it inside the 25-yard line. For the rookie, Ron Edwards gets him down.
We spoke to Antoine yesterday and we said, well, because you stand next to him, the first thing you notice is he is a big guy for a running back. And we asked him what he weighed. He goes, 230, but I'm going out to dinner.
And he's going to get all of it.
That's right. He'll be 235 after a good sit-down dinner.
In the first meeting on November 11th, won by the Patriots at Foxborough 21-11, the Bills sacked Tom Brady 7 times. Today they're going to the run. 9 runs and 2 passes so far for New England. Now Brady looking deep. Long ball. Coverage is good. Incomplete. Coming out of the backfield was the fullback, Mark Edwards, who has 22 catches this year.
And one of the things about this play is Tom Brady had a lot of time to throw the football, and he's got his fullback matched up on a safety. And that's a matchup that the Buffalo Bills will take, even given the fact that they've been decimated. You see there Keith Newman and also Rayon Hill back there to cover that play. They'll take that matchup with the Buffalo Bills.
2nd down and 10 now as they go right back to Antoine Smith. This time he runs into a wall and is knocked back at the 23-yard line. Log on to NFL.com as Vic Carucci breaks down the Packers offense and the approach they've been using and how it resulted in their position atop the NFC Central. Just go to NFL.com or America Online, keyword NFL.com.
This is the fun part of the year, Don. You get teams that are making the rush to the playoffs. You see teams like the Patriots coming together and really starting to play well. And that, believe me, Don, all through your career, it's funnest when you're getting better.
Well, you were part of those Bills teams that went to 4 straight Super Bowls, and this is where the good teams really emerge. The games get bigger, and here's Brady going to the end zone. Again, the coverage is good. Looking deep. Chris Watson running stride for stride with a very fast David Patton. That's Watson, number 21. As Greg Williams, well, he was the defensive coordinator with Tennessee before he came in as head coach here.
And look here, they're coming in. Great protection for Tom Brady. Has all the time in the world to step up in the pocket. You see how he can see the whole field right in front of him. Plenty of time to find his receiver. He didn't. It was well covered, but that's going to pay dividends later.
Adam Vinatieri opened the scoring last week against the Browns with a 54-yarder. This is a 40-yarder, and it's right down the pipe. So the very consistent, outstanding kicker, Adam Vinatieri, puts the Patriots on top 3-0. Ready to kick off. Vinatieri hits a high spinning kick again. John Bryson again from the 16-yard line. Breaks it. Not done as he crosses the 40 and gets all the way out to the 45, and then a marker's fired in, and a blocking foul will be called against the Bills. 31-yard return. That's going to come back quite a ways.
Yeah, this was a holding call just at the 30-yard line.
Mike Carey is the referee.
During the return, holding by the receiving team, number 88. 10 yards. First down.
Sheldon Jackson, a tight end. Illegal block.
And here's the penalty right there.
Yeah, kind of borderline. To him. Elvis, or a reasonable facsimile thereof, is in the building.
So I'm glad you got the tickets I left for him.
Coach Glanville.
Learned that from Jerry. And there's a graphic for you. The time of possession's been a killer already.
On first down, Van Pelt takes a drop. Near side timing throw. It's a connection to Moulds, and he dives ahead across the 25.
It's one of the things the Bills need to do right now. They've had 2 series already with 1, 2, 3 and out. They need to get some first downs and give their defense a break. And it's up to that guy right there, Alex Van Pelt, to do it.
Van Pelt, a career backup in his 7th year with the Bills. As mentioned earlier, he broke a lot of Dan Marino's passing records at the University of Pittsburgh. He's a very smart quarterback. They call him Pill, short for Pillsbury Doughboy. And he's a guy that can get it away in short drops. Now he goes to the run, and Travis Henry, the rookie, gets a first down and down to the 35-yard line. Knocked down by Ty Law. A 7-yard gain, though, by hard-running Travis Henry.
7-yard gain.
You see here, this is all Travis Henry. He'll bang it up into the line on the right side. It ends up coming all the way back to the left. One missed tackle right there inside, and that's sometimes all it takes. Is the pursuit has to gather itself to get back to the outside. Travis Henry's learning a lot about running in the NFL. He's doing it behind a patchwork offensive line in his first year.
Travis Henry comes in with 675 yards rushing. Bills trying to answer the field goal drive of the Patriots. Now Henry running wide, ridden out of bounds by Roman Pfeiffer, another veteran playing standout football. Tonight on
Roman Pfeiffer, another one of those veteran free agents who came over. Belichick had a relationship with him, was with the Jets, and has been had a huge impact on this team on and off the field.
Yeah, Belichick told us yesterday we brought in guys who love football. We graduated the guys who didn't. They're not here anymore. A pitch back. Henry looks for a block and gets one. And Travis Henry, a patient runner, makes good use of a lead blocker. Finally, Lawyer Malloy bangs him out of bounds. Bengals and the Jets doing battle in the Meadowlands. Here's Jim Nantz.
Thank you, Don. I know all the Jet fans and Patriot fans watch each other closely. Look at this. The Jets give up a 12-minute drive. It took 20 plays to get to the end zone. Corey Dillon, the final yard. 7-0 Bengals at the end of the first quarter. Go back to Don and Steve.
Thank you, Jim. A big development for Cincinnati. They wanted to look at Achilles Smith, possibly to trade him. It's really a showcase as much as it is for them to find out more about him. The high draft choice. How about that drive? That's going to be their longest in a couple of years. Van Pelt going deep. He's got a guy. Fearless Price. He drops the ball at the 7-yard line.
Alex Van Pelt took a huge shot just as he let that go from Anthony Pleasant, but he put enough on it. This ball, you think it has a chance. Watch as he drops back. Pleasant coming off the right side, beats John Fina, and bang, just as he lets it go, takes a huge hit. Peerless Price has got to catch this ball. Peerless Price fined $30,000 a few weeks ago for a late hit after the game, and here's the hit on Pill. Peerless Price trying to keep it on track, getting back into this game, but Alex Van Pelt won't be standing on his feet very much longer if that continues.
Brings up 2nd down and 10. Van Pelt ready to throw again. Near side throw, and Vrabel tipped it. Then it's picked up and caught by Jay Remiersma, the sure-handed tight end. And Remiersma, with his 38th catch of the year, is ahead for a gain of 5 yards.
Jay Remiersma, the guy who's been in and out of production for the season. I mean, he's been up and down along with this offense. He's usually a target, as you see him catching this, sticking with that tipped ball. He's usually a guy that they'll go to in the red area. But in this play, getting it outside, catching, that's tough to do, Don. I'm telling you, catching a ball that's been tipped is really, really difficult.
The old tip ball drill, they made it work. And the Bills now in long field goal range with the 3rd down coming up. They need 5. Van Pelt standing in. He gets time, makes a throw, and excellent coverage. Malloy and Bruschi, but there's going to be a foul call against the Patriots and an automatic 1st down for the Bills on defensive pass interference. Somebody got there early.
It looked like Ty Law played that perfect.
Pass interference. Defense number 24. Grabbed his jersey. Spot foul. First down.
I didn't see that, Don. We'll have to see this. This is Eric Moulds working against Ty Law. 2 really good players. Oh, you see there, he grabbed him to keep his position. Might not have made that play had he not used Moulds' jersey to hold him and get the stop. Ty Law is a guy that really is effective against Eric Moulds and has been in the past.
Natural shutdown corner, Ty Law. Mentioned earlier that Moulds only had 3 catches for a total of 7 yards against the Patriots in November at Foxborough, but Greg Williams telling us yesterday that he was open 4 times and we never got on the ball. Now a handoff, and not much happening for Travis Henry as Bobby Hamilton, number 91, who leads the team, the Patriots, with 6 sacks, makes the stop. And that's about going to do it for the first quarter of play as the Bills are driving, the Patriots are leading here at Ralph Wilson Stadium. The 84th meeting between these rivals in the AFC East.
And you see this quarter tick down when the wind is high here. Sometimes Bill Belichick, if the wind is in your face or against you, you'll take a timeout at the end of a corner, but not in this case.
The end of the first quarter with a score, the Patriots 3 and the Bills nothing. Tom Brady can only sit and wait while the Patriots defense is on the field. See in the first 2 drives, Bills 6 plays, 7 yards, now starting to move the ball against the Belichick defense.
That'll be important later on to keep the Patriots off the field offensively.
Somebody left early, but was he drawn offside? Remiersma pointing at the defense.
Well, that's a good way to stop a drive.
It's the offense.
Offense, number 75. 5 yards, still 2nd down.
And that's been a problem with the Bills. If the defense isn't going to stop your offense, why don't you stop yourself? That's been kind of their modus operandi.
95 penalties. Look at that. 2nd most in the NFL.
That's a 2-10 team, Don.
Yep, it's a drive killer too. Now they have to go second down and 15. Handoff and running into the Patriot defense as they were coming in an all-out pass rush. Big Travis Henry stopped by Brewski. Now back to Jim Nantz in New York.
Well, Don Priest-Holmes leads the NFL in rushing and total yards from scrimmage. Here's another example of the season he's enjoying. 12-yard touchdown run. It's 10-0 Kansas City over Denver. Let's go back to Don and Steve.
Thank you, Jim. Boy, how the Ravens would love to have Priest-Holmes. They let him get away.
Would. And he's one of the guys, too, if you sit down and talk with Priest-Holmes, he's a guy you really cheer for.
He's putting up Marshall Faulk-type numbers. He's going to probably go over 2,000 total yards this year. They're down and long on the run. Van Pelt makes a throw, and the centers can't get near to the ball. Patriots have the rush on. Incomplete pass. Coming up on the Nextel halftime report, join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores and highlights. Because today, Patriots have taken an early 3-0 lead, and now the Patriot defense, which really plays better than their numbers. They're 24th in the league in overall defense from yardage allowed, but they're hard to score on of late. Red zone defense, well, as Bill Belichick says, it's really saved us. They're hard to get in the end zone against.
He said defense is all about points, and the Patriots have been very good at that, very stingy.
Mormon directionally punting to the left side now. And it'll hit out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. So the Patriots with Brady at quarterback going offense when we come back. The Patriots holding to the 3-0 lead on the Vinatieri 40-yard field goal, now starting from deep in their own end inside the 15-yard line. Pitch back. Antoine Smith finds a gap and gets to about the 17. Next on the CBS Sports America Online keyword CBS Sports line, Steve Garvey using baseball bats as poles coming down the hill as Antoine Smith has been running downhill at the Bills defense. Brady play fake, buys time, makes a throw and overshoots. Terry Glenn diving at the ball. So Brady not getting much done from the pass offense, and he takes a hard hit. He's been sacked about once every 10 times he's dropped this season.
Yeah, but he doesn't make many bad decisions. He made one last week on an interception trying to get rid of the ball before a sack. This one he has plenty of time to throw it, but does take a nice little double shot there. Aaron Schobel hits him and he bounces right into Phil Hansen. Terry Glenn can't get out there to get this pass, but you don't see the Patriots in 3rd and long very often, but this is when Tom Brady is going to make the difference for this team.
He only had 71 net passing yards against the Bills in November. A deep drop by Brady, airing it out, and a great catch by a great player. Troy Brown comes up, takes it across the 40, and gets ahead for a first down. So beautifully executed by the great Troy Brown, a 26-yard fingertip grab reception.
You can say what you want about quarterbacks coming through at the end of the game, but this is where they make their money. Just convert third downs. You get into a 3rd and 7, make a throw to an open receiver, and move the change. You know, Don, a lot's been said about now that all of a sudden the Patriots in the playoff run. I'll tell you something, they look like a playoff team.
Attention Pro Bowl voters, how about Troy Brown? He's never been there, but he's having an all-pro season. 86 catches now, over 1,000 yards, and he's the best punt returner in the conference. Long ball, sprinting for it, beautifully intercepted. What a play by Watson. Chris Watson is on the run, blockers form, he turns it wide across the 30 and across the 40 and out to the 42-yard line in what might be the best defensive play of the Buffalo Bills this season.
Terry Glenn should have broken this pass up, and he didn't make the effort. Throw this ball out to his left, to the right side of your screen. Now, he probably should not make this throw. Terry Glenn is covered very well. But at this point, when Terry Glenn realizes Chris Watson has position, just tackle him. Do anything you can to keep that interception from happening. Terry Glenn, I think maybe because he hasn't played very much, is out of sync with that.
Well, Bill Belichick told us yesterday he's not in football shape yet, and he wasn't in that play as Van Pelt comes out throwing, and he's picked off, and then it's dropped. It is picked off for the moment by Otis Smith, and he drops it. Otis Smith, a 12-year cornerback. I talked to Otis yesterday, Steve, and asked him what's the key to playing a position like corner for 12 years. He said, number one, you never get out of shape, and number two, you've got to be a student of the game.
That's exactly right. You know you're very smart if you got a guy playing for that long. And I think both these quarterbacks, Alex Van Pelt and Tom Brady, are asking their receivers to make some plays for them. Nobody's done it yet.
2nd and 10. Travis Henry gets room, breaks it across the 50, and he's going to be about 2 yards short of the first down. Ted Johnson on the field makes the stop.
And you think about Tom Brady, he doesn't make very many mistakes. And I think on that one, trying to go deep to Terry Glenn, you want to get Glenn involved in the offense, but you got to ask for a little help as well. Terry Glenn should have made a big effort to keep that ball from being intercepted. You're playing a Bills team that has intercepted fewer footballs than any team in the National Football League. It's only the 7th time they've picked a pass off this year.
Yeah, that's all. Just 7 interceptions for the Bills, but it stops a Patriot drive. 3rd down and a long 2. Swing pass, broken up, knocked down, looked like Bobby Hamilton. 91 got a hand on the ball. Well done by the Patriot defenders. And the Bills, despite the interception, now have to kick it right back.
And he spoke to Alex Van Pelt. He says, we've got to stay out of 3rd and long. Well, you got a 3rd and 2. And then Bobby Hamilton slaps down a pass to Larry Sanders, which probably would have given you the first down.
Mormon standing at his 36-yard line, and there is Troy Brown. High punt. Troy Brown waving everybody off. It takes a hop back up at the Bills, and it's down at about the 25-yard line. Short punt, but no return. 25-yard punt is all. Back to live action. A handoff. Antoine Smith, who ran well earlier. Now they're filling the gap with linebackers. And he's taken down at the 26. Short gain. Tonight on the CBS Sunday, when you were playing for the Bills, Steve, the Orchard Park was a town without pity in December for the opposition.
Well, the Patriots found a welcoming weather today and also a 2-10 team to greet them.
Brady stands in, makes a high throw. It's incomplete. Looking at David Patton. So Brady's been off target for the most part. He has now hit 3 of 7, 38 yards, 1 interception. Aaron Schobel, a rookie pass rusher, putting heat on him.
Yeah, one of the things about it is when the Patriots hand the ball off to Antoine Smith and he has to move side to side, Tom Brady doesn't look nearly as good as Drew Bledsoe looks on there. Brady just has to make too many plays. And I think one of the things that's been a benefit for him is a good running game.
Bills interesting coverages, deploying a lot of dimes formation, 6 defensive backs. And they've had the wide receivers well covered. Brady takes a look, stands in, makes a throw, and he makes a connection. And again, it is the great Troy Brown over the middle for 20 yards on a 3rd and 10 play. First down, New England.
You can say what you want about how Brady has been ineffective thus far, 3 for 7. Well, he's made a couple of very sharp 3rd down throws. And you see here the company that Troy Brown keeps in the last 2 years. I mean, Troy Brown had 83 receptions as a career high coming into this year. And he's already coming in, has 85 receptions. I mean, this is a guy that is doing it big time this year.
Every year. Antoine Smith, right in the middle, not much there. Troy Brown said the fight never ends for him in the NFL. He's an 8th-round draft choice in '93 when Drew Bledsoe was the top pick. Said the fight to make a roster, the fight to get playing time, the fight to keep producing.
Well, he's one of those guys that Belichick got that loves football. I mean, Belichick graduated, as you said, a bunch of guys who maybe football wasn't on their top of their priority list. He's got a bunch of guys who love it now, and you can tell.
Tell you something else he's got, Steve. He's got an arm like a quarterback. He can really throw a ball. Bad play, but it might turn into something. No, it turns into lost yardage as Brady was looking for somebody that appeared to hand off to. Antoine Smith was going the other way.
That was a broken play. Brady, he flipped that ball forward to Antoine Smith. He thought he was going to hand it off. Antoine Smith thought he was going to pitch it after the snap. Brady turns around to hand it off. He's not there. He says, just take it. That's like the little game, you know. If you don't like a guy, throw it to him in a crowd. Brady's smart enough to know you don't want to be holding the ball back there when the play goes south.
Patriots have done well in the second quarter, outscoring opponents 110-45 before today. No points so far today in the second quarter. The Vinatieri field goal, the only points. Now a whistle blows and flags fly. An infraction before the snap.
You know, we talked to a lot of head coaches around the National Football League, Don.
False start. Offense, number 65. 5 yards, remains, third down.
And when you ask them about the guys that are toughest to coach against and the guys they have the most respect for, the guy at the top of the list is always Bill Belichick. You see there, right there's the infraction. But Belichick has got a way of putting a team on the football field that is solid. Aside from the play you just saw, they're usually mistake-free and they're very physical. And I'll tell you what, Don, those are 3 important aspects of an NFL team.
Very important. And right now, this is an important down. Another third and long yardage. Could it be Troy Brown? He's looking that way. Brady pump faking. Now he dumps off on a screen. Patrick passes on the run. And pass with a full 360. A full gainer out to the 49. A gain of 13 yards, but well short of the first down.
And a tackle by Antoine Winfield out there. That was a screen that looked like it was going to go for a while. Very good call. An easy pass play to complete. You send Troy Brown and the rest of the receivers one way. Brady, nice pump fake to get the defense into position to be blocked. And here comes the screen pass the other way. Patrick pass getting up and Winfield taking his legs out.
Big Joe Andrews, who was out in front, he can clean some people out, but they only got 13, needed 20. So again, the punt. Ball is hit high by Walter. And the Bills let it hop, and it'll be down at about the 10-yard line. So again, good special teams play. Matt Chatham, 58, downing it. A 40-yard punt and no return. The Dolphins and the Patriots, won't that be a good one? Next Saturday at 1:30 on CBS from Foxborough. Right now, the Bills have the ball. First down and 10. Bill Belichick telling us yesterday the number one takeaway that they wanted was take away Travis Henry, but he's starting to run really well. But he's now run 10 times for 50 yards. Lawyer Malloy makes the stop.
You talk to Bill Belichick, and he says in this kind of division up in the Northeast, you play in Buffalo and New England, you play New York in New York, you got to have a running game, you got to have a good defense, because both those things can go on the road and help you. And if he goes into the playoffs as a road team, that'll spell good things for the Patriots as well.
Second down. Needing 7, Van Pelt. Pitch back to Henry, the rookie, and Henry dives ahead. Travis Henry out of Tennessee, where he last year rushed for 1,300 yards, the all-time record for the Volunteers in the season. Ty Law gets him down. For the best NFL coverage on the net, including expert analysis and live scoreboards, go to cbs.sportsline.com or America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline. Don Criqui with Steve Tasker, Ralph Wilson Stadium, Orchard Park, New York. 3-0 Patriots as they look for their 4th straight win. Driving towards the playoffs. Their longtime nemesis, the Bills, struggling at 2-10, but right in this game, the Vinatieri field goal in the first quarter from 40 yards out, the only scoring for New England. Van Pelt makes a throw, and it's incomplete. So again, the Bills fail on 3rd down, and they have to punt the ball.
Now, the more time that passes, the more series that come up for the Buffalo Bills, and they go 1, 2, 3 and out, the less confidence you see in their offense. You'll see here as Van Pelt comes out and he just misses Larry Centers. That puts him at 2 for 10, and you cannot win a football game completing 20% of your passes.
You can't even get it downfield. There's the punt, hit end over end. The ball will hit. Makes a Bills roll, picked up by Troy Brown, and he goes out of bounds at about midfield.
Brown on the return.
Bills lament by colors yesterday. We have to stay out of 3rd and long, but they've been in it all day. Kentucky and Indiana. Santa kicking back in the crowd here at Ralph Wilson Stadium as Brady tries to get it going. Pitch back to Antoine Smith, and he finds some room and gets ahead for close to 4 yards.
You think, Don, about a guy coming back to play against his old team like Antoine Smith is doing today. First visit back to a stadium when he had a lot of success in. Had a lot of good years here, and was a guy that was a positive in the locker room. A lot of people in Buffalo I think there's some sentiment here in Buffalo that, yeah, the guy did get the raw end of the deal here. He didn't get used very well in a bad offense, but I think they're very happy for his success in New England.
He's having it. Right back to the run they go. This time it is Kevin Falk in the backfield, and he runs on 2nd down and 6 and gets to across the 45 and down to the 43. Kevin Falk, a great player at LSU and a very versatile player. He's caught 28 passes this year, and he's averaging over 4 yards a rush.
Yeah, and he's a great compliment to an Antoine Smith. Kevin Falk has a little wiggle in the hole. He'll make a guy miss in traffic. Antoine Smith will run him over. And both these guys are benefiting from the work of the big guys up front. The offensive line of the Patriots have really come together and have played very solid football.
Now J.R. Redmond's in the backfield. He hasn't gotten much work this year on 3rd down and 3. Brady stands in, comes in high. A dangerous throw because Troy Brown was extended into that defense, right into the teeth of the defense.
It looked like there was going to be a big collision there with Keon Carpenter. It never took place. Brady puts this ball, if he gets this ball 3 feet lower, he may have a completion. Watch here. Well covered by Antoine Smith and the safety, Carpenter. Troy Brown making the effort up there in the traffic. He didn't get any alligator arms. I got to tip my hat to him because there was some collision coming.
Yet another punt. Either team can jumpstart its offense. Walter hits it high. Ken Walter. Peerless Price comes up on the ball. You mentioned, Steve, Peerless $30,000 lighter after the fine for a late hit after the game at San Francisco. Tomorrow on CBS begin. Greg Williams walking the sideline, exhorting his team. Tough start for Greg Williams. 1-10 before last week's game with Carolina, a 1-win team at the time when they came in, and the Panthers led in the first half 24-6. This after a 35-0 loss of the Bills at San Francisco. The wheels had come off, but they rallied and won the game. Here's a dump off, and Travis Henry has a blocker. And Henry works the sideline and somehow finds a gap and gets ahead for a first down.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was a pretty good screenplay because it looked like that play was going absolutely nowhere. The pressure was all over Alex Van Pelt. Travis Henry did a good job of faking pass protection and then just stepping out. He got help from Billy Conati down the sidelines. Watch how he works the sideline after this play develops. Watch, he comes in and bang, right there. He kind of takes Richard Seymour on, then moves out to the flat, follows Billy Conati and gets right on the sideline, gets the extra 5 yards before the big hit on the sideline.
And the Bills get a first down. They've not had many as the ball is now to the 29-yard line. Henry again, a hard-working back. Players really like Travis Henry, his teammates. His work ethic.
Yeah, you can see that the offensive line is having a little trouble there. Well, Travis Henry's going to stay down right here. You can see the offensive line was getting a little bit manhandled there because Henry went in there and had nowhere to run. He was kind of looking for a crease to open up, and there was none.
Henry's been the most productive part of this Bills offense today, but now down and holding his right knee. Travis has run today 12 times for 54 yards. Then got that swing pass on the last play for 13 yards and a first down. But now, tough development for the Bills and Travis Henry.
And watch here is the offensive line. Just nowhere for him to run. Right there, he's going to try and get through. Big hit right in the face. And then as the traffic catches up, we'll see if he gets rolled over.
Steve, what about this playing field now? As mentioned earlier, this is the first time the Patriots played on an artificial turf surface outdoors this year. How does that affect play on a team coming off grass?
Well, the first thing you notice is when you're walking around how hard it is, and plus the fact that it's such a grippy subject. You don't have to worry at all about whether you're going to make a cut and slip and fall down. That is completely taken out of your mind frame. So these guys will ask their bodies to do a lot today that they wouldn't normally do on grass.
Travis up, limping off, and looks to be okay. And Sean Bryson will come in, another Tennessee back. He's been a very productive guy. Look at 67 yards. Coming off a 100-yard rushing day. He was the Bills' second-round draft choice, and he has been a very productive player. A lot of speculation here, Steve. I was talking to Tom Donahoe, who now runs the Bills franchise, that they might trade down. They're going to have a very high pick, obviously, from their record, but
Yeah, it's his philosophy that there's usually not a guy worthy of a first pick of the draft or a top 5 pick that it'll change right away. Plus, there's a lot of pressure for a young player to come in like that. So the Bills may trade down to get more picks.
The other thing is they all want $40 million. It blows a hole in your salary cap. Here's Bryson running hard, and he gets to the 35-yard line.
Sean Bryson is another guy that went to Tennessee just like Travis Henry did. He's got very good speed, lost his entire rookie season with a knee injury, but he's back, and you see there at 6'1", 233. He came into the league from Tennessee along with Peerless Price, and they asked him, who's faster, you or Peerless? And he says, I'll beat Peerless. And they asked Peerless, and Peerless said, he might.
They never got down and ran it, though.
He's very fast.
Yeah, talking about the draft, Jimmy Johnson once said, we're talking to him about it, he said, drafting to him is like having a fishing net. The bigger the net, the more fish you're going to get. That's why you trade to get more draft choices. Here's a throw, and an over the middle throw. Ramirez was running an out pattern, so a total misconnection there. And again, the Bills find themselves unable to convert on 3rd down.
And they haven't been too bad on 1st and 2nd. They've been 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 2, and they still haven't been able to convert. That's a sign of a good defense, Don. Throw off the timing routes, get in the quarterback's face and shut down the run. You can't ask much more than that.
That's what Belichick said. The number 2 takeaways. He always is good at taking things away. Take away Travis Henry. They've not done that. Number 2, disrupt the timing of the passing game. Troy Brown fields the punt inside his 25, and Brown gets all the way out to the 35-yard line. 42-yard punt and a 12-yard return, tackled by Lance Brown. Tuesday on CBS. Travis Henry looking a little better on the sideline, walking it off.
Yeah, he got his knee bent to the inside as he was in under that pile. And
might be going off, Steve.
When momentum starts to shift on that weight when you're under a pile, Don, there's nothing you can do about it. Not only does it hurt, it's mentally disturbing.
That's disturbing for the Bills not to have him in there. But right now it's Brady and the Patriots on offense. A lot of time, long ball again. The coverage is there. And it skips off the hand of David Patton running a fly pattern. Certainly couldn't be any question when Brady came out of Michigan about his arm. He's got a long distance arm.
Yeah, and that ball was pretty well thrown too. That's hard to do. He'll throw this ball about 35 yards right down the seam, right on the numbers is where the receiver is going to try and catch this ball. Right between 2 defenders and just off the fingertips. It wasn't a completion, but I'll tell you what, you're not too unhappy with that throw.
Now the rookie runner, the starter for the Bills, who had over 60 total yards while he was in there before getting injured, is going off the field as we have 2:38 to go, as you see, before halftime. Pitch back on 2nd and 10. Evan Fall fights his way ahead, short of a first down. He'll bring up 3rd and about 3 as Pearson Priolo brings him down.
What a good running game the Patriots have. With Falk coming out on the outside on a pitch, cutting inside, they're getting good blocking from their receivers on the outside, and their offensive linemen, they come out there, and it's like trying to hit a water bug with a boat oar. Those big guys come out there trying to block these defensive backs, and it's tough to get it sorted out.
Now we're down to the 2-minute warning. Vinatieri's field goal still holds up for the Patriots lead. Patriots holding to a 3-0 lead in the 2nd quarter. Don Cricket with Steve Tasker. The Bills with only 83 total yards. They've had a punt 6 times. But as the Patriots fear, Steve, they're hanging around.
Now they're only down 3 points. The Patriots managed 1 field goal, but the Patriots are really playing well defensively. They've taken Buffalo completely out of their run game. They've put Travis Henry out of the game. He may return. They're still waiting to see about that. He came off the field to go get checked. But Tom Brady needs to put just a few more points on the board and really put the pressure on the Bills' offense.
Brady got the Bills moving early. They got back. He goes long again, and McGlynn is sprinting for the ball. And that is David Patton who comes down with the ball. And a huge play as he takes it inside the 20. A 40-yard throw to David Patton. And the first big hit of the day for the Patriots on offense gets them down inside the 20.
Well, one of the things that's been going on here with the Patriots, they have really been taking some shots down the football field. Now, they haven't hit any yet, and they gave up 1 interception, but David Patton pulls this in, and all of a sudden you get the feeling it's going to be run, run, run at the Buffalo Bills defensive line and then hit them deep. They have thrown really no intermediate passes except to convert a 3rd down.
Now an important drive for the Patriots. Can they take it in and build on this lead? Brady to the end zone, way too high. Jermaine Wiggins, who has only 9 receptions at tight end, but 3 have been for touchdowns, was open. But Brady comes in high. As you see the passing numbers for Brady, just got 40 on that hit to David Patton.
It's interesting. You see the Patriots come down into the red zone, and you know they're coached by a defensive coordinator because he starts to go with his big receivers, throw it to his tight end. You see their 8 TDs in their last 10 red zone possessions. That's a defensive coach's dream as a head coach.
Brady, Steve, has 10 touchdown passes, just 1 interception in the red zone. Now he goes to the end zone again. Comes in way high, so he's got a little bit too much on his fastball. Antoine Winfield covering Troy Brown on the play.
We spoke to head coach of the Bills, Greg Williams. He said, you know what? We were showing some film of the Patriots, and they come out in this cluster thing, and they got this route running, and 2 of the assistant coaches said, wow, that play was drawn up by a defensive coach. And he's right. If you want to know how to work a defense, ask a defensive coach, and that's what Bill Belichick is. He's got this offense running very well in the red zone because he understands what it takes to defend.
They'll be defending a 3rd down and 10 play now. Double wise to the right. Brady play faking, looks out pattern. Edwards takes the ball and a big hit as the undersized Antoine Winfield, who hits like a bazooka. Tremendous young player out of Ohio State. What's the big hit on?
The problem is Belichick's coaching against a guy who's a defensive coordinator too. And really the Bills defense has looked as good in the red zone today as they've looked at any point in the field. They've made the Patriots settle for 2 field goal attempts, the second one of which is coming up right now, and that's a sign of 2 good head coaches who used to be defensive coordinators.
This will be a 33-yarder, virtual chip shot for the long distance kicker Vinatieri, whose career best is 55. He hit a 54-yarder last week against Cleveland, and he just gets it inside the upright. His carom shots count 2, and he builds the Patriot lead to 6-0. Vinatieri kicks off next. Former Bill Fred Smerlas, who's going to go up on the Ring of Honor here at Ralph Wilson Stadium at halftime. John Bryson running the kickback, and he gets to the 29-yard line. Now, Fred was a longtime teammate of yours, a guy who was teammates used to kid him about leading Boston College's senior year to an 0-11 record, but he was a tremendous pro.
Fred's the only guy I know. He had that same mustache when he was in the 8th grade.
He was like wasn't he about 270 in 8th grade?
He was 275 in the 8th grade, and
got that early growth spurt.
Yeah, they're giving out commemorative bobblehead dolls with Fred Smerla's likeness, and they put stubble on it.
And a very popular media figure in the hub of the universe. Boston talk show host. Coming up in the Nextel halftime report, join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores and highlights as Van Pelt looks for a play to get his team downfield. Lots of things going on today, including some upsets in the making. Is Detroit going to win its first game? They're up on the Vikings right now.
You know, there have been a lot of speculation. Is Detroit the worst team in football? I'll tell you what, if they are, they're a very competitive worst team because there's a lot of teams from week to week that have played way worse than Detroit has every week.
However, they pay off in final numbers.
That's right. It's a bottom line business, and Detroit's bottom line is not good.
I'll tell you, last year the Lions were 9-7, barely missed a playoff spot. It changed everything, and now they're 0-12. How about Bill Belichick last year? He was 5-11, 0-2 to start this year, 1-3 as we mentioned earlier. Bob Kraft said he got calls asking, "Are you going to fire him?" And now Belichick, a leading candidate to be NFL Coach of the Year.
Oh, I agree. He is. I think he has done the best job of any head coach in the league. I mean, this is a club that looked like they were in a tailspin in the offseason, and yet they have turned it around thanks to the play of Tom Brady, but also a lot of the veterans that Bill Belichick has brought in.
Brought in a lot of guys who weren't big salaries, but proven journeymen, proven contributors, and I think that's going to be the business model a lot of teams are going to follow in the future. Sign these guys who are proven performers. They don't need $1 zillion a year. Here is Van Pelt. He better run. He's over the line of scrimmage, and he gets ahead on first down for a gain of about 4.
One of the things about from last year, these are all the teams that are turning around. Chicago's won 4 more games than they did a year ago. San Diego, of course, won more games. How could they not? Cleveland's a little bit of a surprise, and I think New England is a surprise, a big surprise. And I think the way that they have won sets them up to be good for a while. Good running game, good defense, no mistakes. They haven't done anything fluky. You look at Cleveland, they've got like 6,000 interceptions. Well, the Patriots have their share, but nothing's out of kilter.
Actually 27 starting the day, but that was 21 more than the Bills had starting the day. Out pattern, and it's almost picked as going after the ball and nearly making a play on it for an interception was Terrell Buckley.
And this is one of the things that you saw the Patriots take a timeout a moment ago, maybe give themselves a chance to get this ball back and get another field goal. Alex Van Pelt going to the out route, but Terrell Buckley's right there. Thought he was going to pull it in, covering Eric Moulds. And as always happens with this Belichick team, Eric Moulds, a guy who you expect to play well, has disappeared.
Didn't do much in the first game, and the Bills lament, we've got to do better on third down today. Well, they're not doing well at all. They're 0 for 6 on third downs. This 3rd and 5, and here's Moulds. No sooner said, Steve, and he reappears like a rabbit out of a hat. Eric Moulds produces the 10-yard catch on third down, and the Bills drive on.
And the Bills take a timeout right there.
Just 30 seconds to play in the first half. Who's the best quarterback that's never won a Super Bowl? Here are some of the candidates: Dan Marino, Fran Tarkenton, Dan Fouts, Jim Kelly, Warren Moon, and Archie Manning. Just log on and cast your vote at NFL.com. And you got to pick your friend Jim Kelly.
Yeah, I played with a bunch of them. I played with Marino in a Pro Bowl. Kelly, of course. I also played with Warren Moon my first year in the National Football League as a Houston Oiler. And I'll tell you what, that's an elite group. You throw Dan Fouts and Fran Tarkenton in there.
Well, Tarkenton got to 4 Super Bowls like Kelly did.
That's Jim Kelly right there, the guy on that list. And there's Fred Smerlas and his family. I'll tell you what, it is a big moment for a player to go up on the Ring of Honor for the franchise that he played with. You can say what you want about Canton, Ohio, and believe me, that is the highest honor. But for individual players in cities, it really means a lot to go up on the Ring of Honor in that stadium. That says something not only about your career, but about how the fans and the community feel about you.
Well, you're expected to be up there. I guess you have to be out to 5 years to get there. Why do I feel a party alert when I see Kelly and Smerlas together?
It's been a long weekend here in Buffalo, I imagine.
Let the good times roll when those two guys are in town. 1st and 10, just 30 seconds on the clock. Downfield throw. Moulds takes it in. What a play. Peerless Price is going to get the ball on the far flank and down inside the 25-yard line. A 33-yard gain on the play.
And the Bills took a quick timeout with 23 seconds to go. Now they've got time to take maybe one shot or maybe 2 at the end zone. Maybe to get a touchdown and take the lead at halftime. Watch Peerless Price, the same play we saw the Patriots run just a moment ago, right up the numbers. One hand pulled it in against Terrell Buckley. What a great play. And that's one of the things that Alex Van Pelt has brought to this offense. The ball's coming out on time, and I'm going to give my receivers a chance to make a play. And once in a while, they come through.
Interesting formation, Steve. They ran a double wide left with Moulds and Price together. When Moulds broke off, the double team stayed with him.
That's right. And as you'll see happen sometimes, the secondary receiver for a team will have a big day because no defense wants to give Eric Moulds a chance to get going.
Peerless Price, a very good player. He now has 41 catches for the year, 6 for touchdowns.
You see there Mike Vrabel, or I'm sorry, not Mike Vrabel. That'd be Steve Craigthorpe, the quarterback coach of the Buffalo Bills, radioing the play into Alex Van Pelt as he confers with Greg Williams. That's Craigthorpe right there.
With 23 seconds left, they still have time to take a couple of shots at the end zone. They're in long field goal range, but unlike the Patriots, the Bills' kicking game is shaky. They're on their 2nd field goal kicker this season, really their 3rd. Steve Christie left in the summer, got hurt, and then they went to Jake Arians, a rookie, and now they're with Shane Graham, first-year player. It was 2 for 3 on the season. Open backfield. Here comes the rush. There's the throw. Broken up beautifully. Number 22, Terrence Shaw, makes a big play on defense for the Patriots.
And this is, as we said before, at the other end, as an offense comes down here, this is when your defensive coordinator earns his money, because defense is all about giving up points. Right now, the Patriots want to do nothing but make the Bills settle for a field goal. Terrence Shaw there on the coverage, hit him right in the middle of the back. Hey, can't cover him better than that.
Broke it up with his number. Second down, 18 seconds to play. Bills do have one timeout remaining. Blitzers come. Van Pelt throws. And it's incomplete. Not close. He was looking at Price again on an out pattern.
Yeah, they looked unsure on their pattern on that. Both Price and Moles didn't know exactly what was going on out there. And Alex Van Pelt threw the pattern he thought was called. Nobody was there to catch it. And that's yet another sign of a team that has struggled all year. Even at this point of the season, when you're in the 13th week, you're running plays and you don't look sure of what you're doing.
Van Pelt just 5 of 17 throwing the ball. That's 29%. And leaving himself with very little protection now. A 5 wideout formation. Here comes the rush. Van Pelt makes the throw in the end zone, and it's broken up. Again, well done by the Patriots. Ty Law, number 24, gets in front of Eric Moles. And the Bills send out their field goal unit with a guy who hasn't been proven much, so he hasn't been in the league long.
And that's Alex Van Pelt. He's going to give his best guy on the field a chance to make a play. The problem is the Patriots have got Ty Law, their best guy, covering him. That's well defended. That's two guys going up to try and make a play in the end zone, and Ty Law gets the better of it.
Be a 42-yard attempt. Remersma holds. Shane Graham 2 for 3. He's 0 for 1 from 40 plus. And that is an effort to fall short. So the nemesis of the Bills all season, the nemesis, the kicking game, bites him again on the final play of the first half. Going to the locker room, the Patriots on 2 Adam Vinatieri field goals and as many tries hold to a 6-0 lead.
And that field goal would have given Buffalo a much better feeling about it, but right now they've got no confidence coming out that they can do anything offensively, and it becomes the job of each coaching staff to make the adjustments to give them a chance to win. Bill Belichick is very good at halftime adjustments.
And the Bills, seeing their most productive player in the first half go off with an apparent knee injury. The rookie runner Travis Henry, while he was in, he had over 60 yards, 54 rushing and 13 catching. Now his return to this game is doubtful. The Patriots, though, expected a low-scoring game and a close one, and they've gotten it.
Yeah, they have. And one of the things about the Buffalo Bills this year is they've gone 2-10 to this point, has been their problems at halftime. Now, last week, for the first time, their defense came out after halftime and pitched a shutout against Carolina. They may have to do that again today, but it's going to be up to their coaching staff to put their players in a position to do it.
The Bills so far in the first half have just 67 yards passing. Buffalo 129 total yards. At the half, it's the Patriots 6, the Bills nothing. Coming up next, the Nextel halftime report after a word from your local station.
Tom Brady bouncing back, shows a lot of resiliency in his youth, and here as you see the stats, the passing yards are a big difference. 109 for the Patriots, only 67 for the Bills. I think one of the things that we can see, Don, from this Patriot offense in this second half, I think they're going to go back to Antoine Smith and start to pound the football on the ground once again.
Well, they got to do something to free up the passing game. A pass offense starting with pass blocking. It's interesting that was no sacks in this first half.
And you can bet that at halftime the Patriots got a little update on how the Jets are playing in New York against Cincinnati, trailing most of the first half. If not, I think they're still trailing. The Patriots know that this is a huge game if the Jets lose.
Line drive kickoff, hit downfield, picked up by Patrick Pass. And he's across the 35 and dives out to the 40. And a penalty marker is thrown after a 26-yard return that could be coming back. Shane Graham, the kicker, made the stop.
I used to hate that as a player. You know, they throw the flag, and then when one guy throws it, they all kind of pile on. There's like 6 flags on the field.
During the return, holding by the receiving team, number 54, 10 yards, first down.
I always got the feeling those referees are trying to cover for their pal. You know, yeah, I saw it too. Yeah, me too. I'll throw my flag. You know.
Kind of reinforcing the original call.
Yeah, Teddy Bruschi got called for that.
Tom Brady, a newfound celebrity. He's not sure he likes it. He said he gets tired of reading about himself.
Yeah, he said, I asked him, well, what are you going to do? Okay, you have a great year. You go to the playoffs, maybe win some playoff games. Who knows, maybe win the whole thing. What are you going to do when it's over? He said, I'm flying someplace where they don't know me and I'm sleeping for a week.
Everybody wants time with Tom Brady, as Antoine Smith does come out running to start the third quarter and gets just a couple of yards before backer Keith Newman takes him down.
I think that's what they did in the first half. They just handed it to Smith, let him run up in there, pounded him a little bit, got the defense thinking they're going to have to jump into the line of scrimmage to stop that run, and then hit him for the deep ball.
Bills defense with only 25 sacks this season. You see the Patriots are commanding 7-1, one-loss record when they led at the half. Bills only 25 sacks through those first 12 games. Long ball downfield and nobody there. Rod Rutledge running a deep pattern. Belichick saying yesterday the whole league knows we're getting no production from our tight ends in the pass offense.
Their tight ends have just disappeared in the pass offense, and I think a team like the New England Patriots can overcome that to a certain extent, especially when you get a guy like Terry Glenn coming in as a third wide receiver. That gives you something that a lot of teams don't have. So you can kind of live with the lack of a tight end in your passing game as long as he's there in the run game.
Brady, who's averaged over 70% in the last 5 games, the total of the 5 games, he's hitting only 44% of his throws today. On the run, Brady tucks the ball and dives for a first down. Ball on the field, but I think was down by contact. And that is the signal as Brady gets ahead on a rare scramble for 12 yards and a first down.
Nothing breaks a defense down more than when a quarterback can run when you don't expect him to run. There's nothing you can do about this. The Bills are backing out into pass coverage. They push the pass rush past him. This is what he does well. He's still got his eyes downfield, and you know that pump fake is 5 yards down the field. He can't throw the football, but the defenders always bite on the pump fake. And you see there, the ground caused that fumble, so that's a non-issue.
And the Patriots drive on in this opening drive of the third quarter. Antoine Smith. Ball on the field. Bills say they have it. So does the official. And a second Patriot turnover could be expensive as the Bills will have it 1st and 10 of the Patriots 30.
Well, how often do you see it, Don, when a team has control of a game, they're playing extremely well, and turnovers keep the lesser opponent in the game. Turnovers more so than anything can make a bad team into a good one or a good one into a bad one. Antoine Smith turns up, and there it is right there. You see it. Rayon Hill just ripped it out as Antoine Smith covered or cut up the football field. He takes on the block of Edwards and gets his arm in on the football and recovers and fumbled himself. Great play by Rayon Hill.
Yeah, he did it both ways. He freed the ball, then grabbed the loose ball on the ground. So the Bills get it close to the 30-yard line of the Patriots. Pitch back. Sean Bryson running hard and getting down to about the 27-yard line. A gain of over 3. Bobby Hamilton on the stop. Bill Belichick saying our red zone defense has saved us in a lot of games. Red zone defense from your 20-yard line in.
And one of the things you notice now about the offense for the Bills is Bryson is in at running back. Travis Henry is still out and went out with a slight knee injury. That's going to hurt them because Travis Henry's a guy they depend on in their running game.
Bills really, Steve, have got nothing throwing the ball down over the middle of the field. They've got some stuff going wide. Here is a pitch back. Wrightson works the Patriot defense. Patriots getting harder and harder to run on as the season wears on. The Browns had only 50 yards rushing last week, barely 2 yards a carry.
That's a sign of a good team, Don. They just come together, and there's a lot of things that are happening in this Patriot team that are really good. They have come together as a unit. There's a lot of cohesion. The guys are really friendly with each other. They're having a good time playing. And I think one of the most important things Bill Belichick did is pick up guys like that. Antoine Smith, guys who are coming in and put football high on their priority list.
Larry Centers, who has 70 catches for the year, he's in the backfield. No catches today. They're going to be going to him before long. Right now he's in pass blocking, and now Van Pelt is on the run. A third down run, so the Bills again on 3rd and 5 fail to get there, and now the fans all yelling to go for it because the kicking game in Buffalo is so weak.
That's exactly right, and this is a crucial down right here. Alex Van Pelt, this is a defensive gotcha. They brought the blitz off Van Pelt's left side, completely changed the secondary look just before the snap, and Alex Van Pelt, his pre-snap read was all askew and was completely wrong, and the hesitation cost him the play.
Remersma holds. Shane Grant will kick 41 yards. He hits the ball. It's going to get there this time, but is it straight enough? It is. So the Bills, off the turnover, have their first points of the day. It's 6-3, New England. Antoine Smith waiting to come back out on the field to run the ball as the Bills are ready to kick off after getting their first points of the day on the 41-yard field goal by Graham. Patrick Pass, a former standout runner for the Georgia Bulldogs, looks for a gap and finds one and gets to the 35-yard line.
Ball returned by Patrick Pass.
Tackle made by Avion Black after a 21-yard return. The Patriots back on offense after turning the ball over the last time they had it. Brady makes the throw, and it's taken in by David Patton, and he's ahead for 12 yards and a first down. Nate Clements gets him out of bounds. David Patton, who just 4 years ago was loading 75-pound coffee sacks down in North Carolina. He and his partner would load 600 a day.
And there's a guy, you know, Tom Brady is completing only 44% of his passes. You know, if he throws a pick or something, you might want to put the backup in. I mean, it starts to become a consideration when a guy like this struggles a little bit in a game you've got to win.
Open backfield. Brady takes a drop. A low throw. It skips in on the one hop. Second down and 10.
When you talk about this, there's been a lot of speculation on what's going to happen when this season is over, even if Brady finishes it out. Tom Brady came in an 8-3 record. I mean, that's the statistic right there.
How about Drew Bledsoe, though? Before he was 30 years old, he'd passed for over 29,000 yards.
That's a big number, Don.
We talked to Bob Kraft. I asked him before the game, what about Bledsoe? I mean, would he ever be put up for the expansion? You lose all the cap value. You don't have to pay any of the cap money. It doesn't count against your salary cap. He said it's like pitching. Good quarterbacking. They can't have enough. They're keeping him. Hansen comes in, makes the hit. Plus, you're always, Steve, in this league, that's the first sack of the day. You're always one play away from going to the next quarterback.
Yeah, and this is kind of one of those plays where that one play happens. He hesitates. They make him hold the football because of the coverage, and that pocket just collapses right around him. You see he's at the bottom of that pile. You don't want to see your quarterback underneath 3 jerseys of the other color. Watch this. He steps up. You see right there he has to tap the ball. He taps the ball. If he's going to stand back there and pat the ball, the pressure's going to come.
Third sack of the year for the veteran Phil Hansen, who 11 years in the league can still run people down. Brady in trouble. Here comes the rush, and here's the hit. Man alive. Brady's up. That's good to see, but what looked like a knockout hit by Nate Clements, who played against Brady when they were both in the Big Ten. Clements at Ohio State, Brady at Michigan. That hit to see Brady get up. That was a knockout hit.
That hit gave me chills. That was scary. Brady's hat flew right off, and I'll tell you what, Brady got right up. Watch as he comes up. He's got to get down. Starts to go down. It's just not fast enough. Yeah. And he takes a mammoth hit.
And it came on third down, so the Patriots will punt the ball. Peerless Price is back for the Bills. Well hit by Walter. Fair catch is signaled for and made by Peerless Price. Let's listen to this in full speed.
Like you can see there, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. Watch this. Ouch.
Man. Boy, it's good to see Tom Brady up and okay, Steve, because that was really a knockout hit. We'll look at it again as his helmet flew 10 yards back after Clements hit him. Now after the punt, the Bills take over just inside their 20. Van Pelt, a timing throw, makes the connection. And to the 25-yard line is Eric Moles.
Here's the play we just saw. Tom Brady scrambling to get a first down, trying to make something happen, and Nate Clements right there. I'll tell you what, Brady got right up, walked over to the sideline, and said, hey, I'm okay, it's going to be good. And when you see your quarterback do that,
the ball.
Everybody stands a little taller on your sidelines. He takes a hit like that, stands up, and comes back. You can't help but love a guy like that.
Well, hopefully he's fine, but you know, remember Bledsoe, he was on the sideline smiling after that hit from the Jets. Mo Lewis Only end up the day with a team of thoracic surgeons working on him at Mass General. Broncos and the Chiefs with a big one going to Kansas City. Here's Jim Nantz.
Chiefs are playing really well here today, Don, and Trent Green has only missed on one attempt. Here he tosses the touchdown to Derek Alexander. They've doubled up Denver mid-third at Arrowhead. And let's go back to Don and Steve.
Tell you what, Don, when a quarterback doesn't miss his throws, they're tough to beat. I don't care who you're playing or what team you're on or what your record is.
First down Bills, the pitch back. This is Sean Bryson. Big back, taken down by Vrabel. Gets in the Bengals in the Meadowlands in New Jersey. We go back to Jim.
John Kitna's in at quarterback now, Don. After the starter Achilles Smith went out with a hamstring injury, he drives them here. Dillon gets into the end zone for the second time today. The last 5 games, the Bengals had not produced more than 1 touchdown in a game. They've got 2 today, controlling the Jets so far. Back to you.
Thanks, Jim. What people don't, a lot of them don't know about the Bengals, they have the number 10 ranked defense in the league. They've got maybe the best young defensive player in the league, along with Kendall Bell of the Steelers and Justin Smith, the pass rusher. Remersma down with the ball. And it is a first down for the Bills. A 12-yard gain to the tight end.
Jay Remersma working there against Tabucky Jones, coming out running a deep route. Alex Van Pelt has lots of time to throw this. And this is something that the Buffalo Bills have not been able to do very much. There's a flag.
Roughing the passer, defense number 91. 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic. First down.
And they hit Bobby Hamilton with, as you see, a roughing the passer call.
Yeah, if Alex Van Pelt took a hit after that throw, there was nobody really close to him when he let the ball go. It must have been a...
You get ours, we'll get yours, the unwritten law.
What? Oh, that. I see that. I thought the first one they were going to call it on. It was Hamilton later. I think Van Pelt went a little bit fishing. Kind of sold that call. He took the charging foul, I think.
We asked Belichick yesterday about any overconfidence coming in against a 2-10 team. He says there's none. All we had to do is roll the tape of the last game with the Bills.
We couldn't even get him to talk about anything on Monday, let alone next year. I mean, he wanted to talk about nothing but this game.
He knew it would be a battle, and it is. Van Pelt with a deep drop. Beautifully thrown ball to the far sideline. Fearless Price comes down with it for a gain of 14 yards and a first down.
You know, one of the things about this series we've talked about, these teams play each other very tough. Bills by 3, Patriots by 4. There's a big win by Buffalo, big win by the Patriots, and then everything else is in overtime. I mean, these two teams play very close football games, regardless of anything else that happens during their season.
Well, in your 13 years with the Bills, that included 7 Pro Bowl seasons, you knew you were going to play a close game when you hooked up with these guys.
Yeah, you could know there was going to be stress the entire way through the game.
Well, there's some stress now being put on by running back Sean Bryson, but a penalty marker is thrown down. Very important how this one goes.
This is going to be against Buffalo's late flag thrown by the referee right behind the play. Take my advice, Don. Don't mess with Mike Carey.
Holding, offense, number 63. 10 yards, remains first down.
Mike's been in the league 12 years. He's such a young-looking guy when you meet him.
Very good official. Very good official. And watch as he comes in. This is him right there, watching the play. You see there, there's the hold right there. As he spins the guy down. Whenever you do that, it's just too easy to call. And that's why the flag comes in. It comes in late because the offensive linemen try to get that last little bit in to keep their guy from slipping off to make the tackle. And it's always at the end of the run, so the flag always comes in very late.
Greg Williams sees his team now set back outside the Patriots' 25-yard line. So the Bills with a long yardage play coming up now at first down. 6:05 to play. Clock starting. Travis Henry with a strained knee will not return. Running back who was very productive for the Bills while he was in there in the first half. Sanders alone back. Long ball, they're going to Moles, and he is almost picked up. Now Moles did what Glenn didn't do. Moulds turned defensive back when he saw he couldn't get it and broke the play up.
Those are two guys that have gone against each other right there. And now you see
Ty Law
staying down. He might have, whenever you land on your back like that, sometimes you get the wind knocked out of you. I hope that's all it is. Ty Law, a great cover cornerback, one of the best in the league. He can shut down the best receivers, as he's doing today with Eric Moulds. Moulds having a hard time getting open. Doing the right thing, pulling Ty Law away from the football, making it tough for him to catch it. And we've seen that so much from both these quarterbacks, Alex Van Pelt and Tom Brady, just throwing it up for grabs, hoping that their guy comes down with it.
Bills have only 5 touchdown drives of 80 yards or more this year. This one started on their 20.
See, their Moulds really didn't do too much. Oh, looks like he got a kind of a whiplash effect as he came down after the catch. Watches his behind will hit first, and he kind of whiplashes on the ground.
You were talking, Steve, about this hard field, and it's even harder today on this cold day.
It's the older type of artificial turf, the kind everybody had for decades. Now they've got the new Pro Turf where it's made out of crushed rubber, and it's kind of like dirt mixed in with long artificial grass blades. This is a much more hard and unforgiving surface than that.
See, Ty is dazed as he's going off now, and Terrell Buckley will come in to replace him. It's good to see he's up and walking off.
If I'm the Buffalo Bills, I throw it right at him.
At Buckley?
Throw it right at Buckley. See if he can bring it cold off the bench.
Well, he's got 3 picks this year, so he can catch it.
Your 2nd and 15, you need a play. Send him deep. If it's not there, take a dump off and get in field goal position. But my first look is right at Terrell Buckley.
Patriots defense so good at taking away strengths, and one of them they've taken away is the running back who has caught more passes than any running back in history, Larry Sanders. 70 catches coming into the game today.
That's what that guy does. I mean,
on today.
Bill Belichick picks the threats out of an offense and takes them away as best he can.
I asked him one time what the defensive philosophy. He said you decide what you're going to take away and then see what they can do with the rest.
That's exactly right.
Can't take away everything.
Make them beat you left-handed.
8th play of the drive coming up. This one started on the Bills' 20. A rare long drive this season for the Bills.
Now Otis Wilson is on Eric Moulds. Otis Smith, excuse me.
2nd down. You see they need 18. Deep drop, end zone ball. And it's picked off. Lawyer Malloy picks it off. A 22-yard return, so the defense stands tall again. Lawyer Malloy, the man they say runs the toll booth in the middle of the field. You go in his area and you pay. And the Bills just did.
Lawyer Malloy having a sensational year at safety.
The toll collector. Handoff. And there is not much there on 2nd down.
Antoine Smith, the ball carrier.
Heath Newman makes the stop on Antoine Smith.
Alex Van Pelt standing in the pocket. He could feel the pressure coming from Brewski. Watch right up the gap created, and that is a tough hit. And then he gets a little glancing blow from Vrabel as well.
He almost was a sandwich there.
Takes a minute to gather yourself after you throw that one. And that's not a good completion rate for Alex Van Pelt. Both these quarterbacks are below their average for the year today.
Chuck Noll of Steeler fame used to talk about the rising blow for the big hits. Comes from the legs up. That's what he got him with. 3rd down and 3. Brady in trouble. They get him. And he is taken down at the 29-yard line. The 3rd sack of the day for the Bills defense. They, remember, sacked Brady 7 times in Foxborough on November 11th.
Well, they brought everybody they could possibly bring on this blitz. Brady feels it immediately, buys himself a little time right here, but right now he's just trying to stay alive, and there's nothing going to happen as the pursuit gets him. And there's one thing the defensive line of the Bills does have. It may not be experienced or proficient, but they do have pretty good speed up front.
And the speed there was Aaron Schobel, a rookie pass rusher from TCU, a 2nd-round draft choice. Now into punt as Ken Walter hits a high punt downfield. Fearless Price living dangerously as the Patriots have great coverage. Tremendous special teams play by the Patriots. He lost about 12 yards after he caught it. Trying to cut back. Ruski was the lead tackler. So the Bills get it back, trailing by 3. Great defense, though, hanging in and hanging on to a 3-point lead. There's the 3 quarterbacks. Ewart in the middle. Drew Bledsoe and Brady have been in conversation every time that Brady comes off the field. You have to admire Bledsoe. They've remained good friends, as Brady is now the frontline quarterback for the Patriots. And Bledsoe said, my job is, and I'm not playing, to do everything I can to help him play well. Here's a throw and a catch as Bryson comes out of the backfield and tiptoes the sideline and gets ahead for a first down.
Yeah, a moment ago you saw as Brady came off. It's really nice to come off as a player and have somebody you can really trust. Look at him. He's like, what am I doing? You love to see a quarterback get that much. It means a lot to these guys, and it's nice for Brady to come over and have Drew Bledsoe that'll sit there and at least sit there and listen. You know, somebody that you know has been in your same shoes, a buddy that you can talk to. You can't overestimate the value of that.
Is that Jim Kelly with the hood on there?
Yeah, that's Jim Kelly on the sidelines there watching the game.
Has he got any eligibility left? They might throw him in there. Here's Van Pelt making a throw and a connection. Beautifully done to Peerless Price. Otis Smith covering. They've gotten Otis a couple times, so 45. That was for a 15-yard gain.
Well, Peerless Price is having a pretty good day. He's made some key catches. Alex Van Pelt is finally looking a little better here in this second half, but he's got to start completing more of his passes on a regular basis. And he's also got to get Larry Centers and Eric Moulds in the game.
Centers, as we mentioned, 70 catches for the season, none today. I don't think they've even gone to him once. They've had him covered. That's one of the guys they're taking away now. Bryson runs and finds a gap in the Patriots' right side and gets ahead after Lawyer Malloy. Could see Lawyer and they're still hitting, and he makes the stop. Tomorrow it's
Lawyer Malloy's return was doubtful. Then he makes a tackle.
Here Jim Kelly, and a couple of weeks ago, went up on the Ring of Honor Wall of Fame. Second down. They need 6. Van Pelt stands in. Tip ball. It's caught. And it's a first down. Riemersma somehow makes the play. And he's ahead for a gain of 8 yards. That's his second catch today, and a tip ball.
Yeah, and that's just staying with it. Watch the ball gets tipped high in the air. And Riemersma right off the noggin of Brandon Mitchell. And I hate to say it, but that's just dumb luck right there.
And a former Bill, Matt Stevens, finally wrestles him down.
Yeah. You take the statistic, you take the catch and the first down, but that's just lucky.
Patriots defense gives very little to the passer over the middle of the field. They got that one completed on a tip ball. Here is Bryson, and he works on first down to get about 3 to the 42-yard line. Malloy again on the stop.
Yeah, one of the things you really had to question whether the Bills were going to be able or even be committed to staying with the run game with Travis Henry out. They're giving Bryson a chance to be a part of the offense. There's a guy, Larry Centers, who hasn't been a part of the offense. He has absolutely disappeared.
When we talked to Van Pelt at practice, Steve, he was saying that the Patriots' defensive alignments are so tough to figure out because they disguise their blitzes. And now they have a down that you could see a blitz on at second down and 7. Throw and a catch. And coming out of the backfield is Sammy Morris, a little used running back as the third quarter winding down and out. An 8-yard gain on the play. And the spot looks like it might be a first down where it's positioned. That's the end of the third quarter. Patriots lead 6-3. Now a word from your local station. Bill Belichick bringing in his Patriots looking for a 4th consecutive win. While his counterpart in his first year as head coach of the Bills, Greg Williams, himself a defensive expert, and he's had a lot of looks for the Patriots to contend with, but right now the Bills have the ball, first down and 10. Near side throw. Bryson caught and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Ruski has been omnipresent. Another stop along with Vrabel. Coming up on the subway post.
Their offense has gone to the trick bag a couple of times this season and very regularly. You don't try trick plays against a team who runs trick plays. They sniff them out better than anybody, and that little outside screen to the wideout the Patriots were all over it.
They were. A loss on the play of 4 yards, making it 2nd and 14. So Van Pelt has to take a look downfield. He throws a swing pass. There is Centers making his first catch. Look at the veteran protect the ball with both hands on it. And he's taken down inside the 30-yard line. It'll spotted right at the 30, 8-yard gain.
And that's a guy who's, well, he's caught more balls than any running back ever. And it takes a really good defensive effort to keep him out of the game. And you see there, 133 consecutive games. That's the 3rd among active players. And he's been doing it very well for a long time. In fact, it's an oddity in a Buffalo Bills practice to the point where the players cheer and scream whenever he drops a pass, because it never happens.
And Van Pelt, Steve, picking up his numbers. He's hit 10 of 12 in the second half throwing the ball. But you see the 3rd down conversion's a continuing problem. And now they're late getting the snap off.
Yeah, and that's another thing that the Patriots did in their secondary.
Delay. Offense. 5 yards. Still 3rd down.
The Patriots are coming up into a very tight defensive formation right at the line of scrimmage, and just before Van Pelt snaps it, they move back into a more loose coverage, and Van Pelt takes a moment to look and see if he can get a handle on what they're doing, and there's no time on the play clock.
Talked about disrupting the timing of the pass game. Now another tough 3rd down for the Bills. They wanted to stay out of 3rd and longs, but they're in it again. 3rd down and 12, well out of field goal range. Dump over the middle. Centers has it, running in the open field. He's inside the 20, inside the 15. He has a first down and a lot more as they get one of their best gains, a 21-yard throw over the middle to Larry Centers. So they finally start getting the ball to him.
Yeah, they looped him out of the backfield. They took the pass rush to the outsides. Larry Centers goes through traffic and then just pops out into the open between the hash marks. And once he catches it, let's face it, he's a running back, and that's a good guy to have the ball in the hands of. That's a big first down at this point of the game, Don.
Really big, and the Bills keep on driving. And here's a handoff as Bryson breaks tackles, but then he's taken down. Anthony Pleasant, number 98, gets him down.
Anthony Pleasant's the guy who made that play. Although he didn't make the tackle, Sean Bryson was slowed up enough so that the rest of the defense could make the tackle.
Coach Williams, he needs wins.
And this is his reaction. I'll tell you what, Don, they live and die with every single snap of the ball.
They do. It's not easy. This is the 10th play, a 68-yard drive so far by the Bills. Here comes the blitzer. The throw is made, and the blitzer is there to disrupt that big time. He was looking towards Eric Moulds, but Lawyer Malloy came unimpeded and got a clean shot on the quarterback.
Now he's lucky to get that ball away. Look at it, you see there, he's disgusted with himself. Watch as he drops back right off the corner, inside and then out. Just get rid of it and hope for the best. Didn't have time to make it. Look, Moulds was going to get separation, but they didn't have time even for that quick route to develop.
And again, the Bills find themselves, Steve, in 3rd and long. 3rd down and 11. Van Pelt dumps it off, and a penalty marker's fired in.
That's going to be a hold against Richard Seymour. As the centers tried to release for the pass, Seymour just grabbed him and wouldn't let him do it.
Automatic first down, if that is the call.
And that's one of the things we spoke to Greg Williams about. He says a Bill Belichick team will take 3 or 4 defensive holdings. He'll make the official make the call. And one of the things that they told their players this week in practice was you either get the ball or get the call, because we know they're going to be holding us down the field. And in that case, they got the call.
Holding. Defense number 3. The running back out of the backfield. 5-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
I don't think it was number 3. I think it was 93. Right here in the middle, watch Larry Centers. He's going to move up into the line, just like the play they just converted. And you see there, he just tackled him. Just tackled him. And
right in front of the umpire.
Right in front of the umpire. And that's an automatic first down.
It came on a 3rd and 11 play. See the Patriots, they talked about the red zone defense saving them this season. 20 goal-to-go situations, allowing only 10 touchdowns. Bills without a touchdown. Nobody has a touchdown today. Here is Bryson following the right side of his blocking front. Brady, the middle backer, who's just everywhere. What a player he's been. A guy who has just been prolific as a tackler, and he's always in the lineup.
Well, Brewski's always a guy's played special teams. They lost Ted Johnson for a number of games. Brewski moves into the starting lineup, and he's been phenomenal. I mean, that's one of the things about this defense. They got guys plugged in everywhere, and they all have such a feel for the game. They've loved to play, these guys, and that's the thing that Bill Belichick loves about this team, and it shows.
Brewski starting almost 50 straight games and averaging 8 tackles or more a game. Here's a throw, and nobody home. Not close to a completion. And guess what? Another third down.
Everything changes down inside the 10-yard line. They get into the red zone, and this defense of the Patriots becomes brilliant. I mean, it really becomes something special, Don. They stop the run, which is the first thing you always have to do, and then they come with so many different looks. They have so many good players in their secondary, and I think that's the difference.
In the red zone defense, from their 20-yard line in, they're 8th in the NFL in red zone defense. Throw to the end zone. Is he in? He is not. Ball is caught by Peerless Price, but he's out of the end zone. Did not have both feet down, and so fourth down arises.
And Alex Van Pelt, they're staying on the football field. They're going to go for it on fourth down and try and score a touchdown rather than go for the tie and watch as this ball comes out.
Oh, that's a big mistake to do that.
Yeah, I think you got to tie it up. Watch here as Peerless Price catches it.
Well, that's a nice catch.
Nice catch. I don't know if he got that left foot down.
Now the field goal unit is coming out.
That might be a catch if they give him his left foot down and the ball was on his fingertips. Nobody's gonna challenge it. The Bills aren't gonna challenge it.
The coaches of the Bills are in the next booth to us, and there's a lot of conversation in there. Now the field goal is up, and it is good. And so Shane Graham ties the game at 6-all. He kicks off, and we come back. Tied up at 6-all. Don Criqui with Steve Tasker, Ralph Wilson Stadium. The Bills with a 2-10 record, battling on their home field in this all field goal game from a scoring standpoint. Graham kicks off. This is Patrick Pass. Finds a gap, gets to the 29-yard line.
Excuse me, Don. See Derek Peerless Price there. This is the catch a moment ago. This was not challenged. The Bills have not had good luck challenging. He's got the ball in his fingertips with his left foot down. The second foot obviously is down. That might have been a play you challenge. Ball's in his hand, the foot is down, and the other foot comes through. The Bills have not had good luck with challenges. Maybe that was a chilling effect on the fact they didn't want to do that or give up a timeout going after that play, but that may have been a touchdown.
See, when you can't score touchdowns, you think they would have challenged on the rare opportunity to get one. But they did not. The game is tied on the subsequent field goal. Here's a throw, nicely done, but the ball is dropped off the hands of Mark Edwards, the fullback. Hard throw by Tom Brady on the out pattern. Next Saturday, the NFL on CBS rolls with a special showdown at the top of the AFC East. Jay Fiedler and the Dolphins head to Foxborough to face Brady and the Patriots. It all starts with Jim, Randy, Jerry, Mike, Marcus, Leslie, and Deanne on the NFL Today. Or go to NFL.com, America Online, keyword NFL.com. Next Saturday at Foxborough, a huge game. Here is a quick wide receiver screen. Flanker screen to Troy Brown, and he is to the 30-yard line.
The same play that the Patriots defended so well early on the earlier drive by the Bills. The Bills come up and do the same thing to Troy Brown. A lot of times you just want to get it into the hands of a guy that you know can do something with it. But you know the defense is watching him very closely, and that's kind of what that happens. It's just one of those plays, Don. If it breaks, it's going to be a big one. If not, it's going to be nothing.
Could be another big turnover in this game. It could be a difference in the outcome. Get the feeling a field goal is going to decide this one. Brady standing in at 3rd and 9. Play fakes. Rush comes, and they get him. Man, the Bills coming hard. These young pass rushers. Eric Flowers, a former #1 who's given them very little. He's been a disappointment. Not on that play.
Yeah, this is a play where the speed of the defensive line really comes through. Brady drops back, and they've got guys running in loops coming all over the place. Two guys come scot-free back into the backfield. That was Bryce Fisher coming in there, and that was, along with Eric Flowers. That was just a jailbreak coming in on Brady.
Here's a punt hit downfield by Walters. Fielded dangerously by Peerless Price. Ball on the field. The Bills seem to have it. They do. You're looking for that big turnover. That was almost it. 39-yard punt, just a 3-yard return. The Bills break the huddle, getting a lot of big defensive plays. Eric Flowers, 96, making one. Bills taking over the ball at their 44-yard line. Play fake, tip ball. Patriots do a good job of that. This is a game of thunderous hits. Watched some earlier today. Here's another.
And just in case you're sitting at home wondering, yeah, that hurts.
Oh, I bet it hurts. Fortunately, nobody injured on those two thunderous hits, and now we have a draw play, and running with the ball is Bryson, turning to the outside, and he'll work the ball out to close to midfield to the 49-yard line. Gain of about 5 on the play. Bucky Jones knocks him out of bounds. Following this game, log on to NFL.com and get the latest information on how the playoff picture is shaping up, as well as analysis from the experts. It's all at NFL.com or America Online, keyword NFL.com. The Patriot defense has not given up a touchdown in almost 3 games, or just 1 touchdown in 3 games. That was to Tampa Bay. There's a throw to the out pattern. The ball is taken in by Eric Moulds on the far side.
Well, Don, we're right in the thick of it. It's exactly the kind of situation we thought we'd be in this game. The score is tied at 6 apiece. 8.5 minutes to go in the game. And the Bills battling to make first downs. The Patriots not giving an inch. And here's just a ball that goes through a defender's hands into the hands of Moulds, who can't do anything with it once he catches it. This game is an absolute battle at every turn. Some plays come off lucky for one team, but you don't see anybody doing anything really special to win.
Defenses are trying. The Patriots gave up 1 touchdown in the 1-point win over the Jets. Gave up no touchdowns in the win over Cleveland last week. No touchdowns today. Should have said at Tampa Bay it was the Jets that they've given up the 1 touchdown to in the last 3 games. Eric Moulds now makes a 13-yard grab over the middle.
One of the things about it, Eric Moulds coming on the slant, watches Terrell Buckley guarding him. He just beats him to the football, and this is 3 consecutive plays they've gone to Eric Moulds. One was batted down just like that. A play like that was batted down. Then they went to him for the first down, come right back to him.
And he's caught 5 today for 42 yards. Nothing much happening there as they swarm to the ball. I talked to Pepper Johnson, one of the defensive coaches, a former great linebacker with the Giants Super Bowl team, now coach with the Patriots. I said, what do you like about this defense? He said aggressiveness.
He's right. I mean, you talked to Greg Williams. He said the defensive backfield for the Patriots will knock your teeth out. I mean, that's how physical this Patriot team is. And I'll tell you what, late in the year, Don, you play some of these teams that just want no part of that.
You see how the time of possession has changed. Bills dominating in that area here in the second half. Out throw, Peerless Price comes down with the ball and gets to the 25-yard line. Otis Smith makes the stop, and Price is shaken up.
Yeah, this is a point in the game. Now, it came out at halftime, and Alex Van Pelt has been much more efficient here in the second half as Peerless Price appears to be in some discomfort. But the second half has been the nemesis for the Bills in a lot of games. They've come out and not played as well. And here today, Van Pelt, because of his consistency, has given them a chance. It looked like his right leg got bent underneath him, stuck to the turf.
He's been a very productive player, a guy that caught so many passes from Peyton Manning when they were both at Tennessee. Came into this game with 40 catches. Today he's caught 4. So Peerless Price is attended to. There's a break in the action. The game tied at 6-all. Bills find themselves in 3rd down. 8ing 6. Pitch back. They go to the run. Bryson looks to turn the corner. He got some yards and another big hit as Tabucky Jones comes over with a very hard hit. Shoulder pads colliding, and out of bounds goes the runner. And the Bills send out their place kicker, looking to take the lead for the first time.
Yeah, he's missed 1 today, but hit 2. Shane Graham comes on to spot this ball. It'll be at about the 36. And he has never in his life kicked a kick as important as this one.
He's a first-year player from Virginia Tech. 41-yard attempt. Remember this end earlier in the game, he was short on a kick. This one has enough length. And he's got it. And the Bills take the lead with 5:57 to play. So the Bills and the Patriots, another good one, their 84th meeting. 9-6. The 3rd field of the game by the first-year player Shane Graham gives the Bills a 3-point advantage. Now Graham ready to kick off. Missed his first field goal of the day. 43 yards. Now he's hit consecutively from 41, 25, and 41. Into the ball. Well kicked. Hit down to the 10-yard line. Here comes Patrick Pass. Shoots into a gap and drives all the way out to the 37-yard line. Sammy Morris makes the stop after a 27-yard return.
You see here the second half possessions for the Patriots. That all comes out to 4 yards total offense. And that's not good enough. And Tom Brady is going to have to bring this team back. This may be the most important drive he's been a part of all year to this point.
Aiden for the Patriot defenders. Here comes the rush. Brady stands in, near side throw. It's caught and working the sideline beautifully is Terry Glenn, and he's ahead to the 44-yard line of the Bills. Big gain on the play, a 19-yard gain.
Chris Watson went for the interception, and Terry Glenn just out-battled him for the football. Watch, here's a good throw by Tom Brady. Almost gets picked off because Watson really gambles and tries to jump it. You see there Glenn, just the veteran, trying to get the ball, getting up the sidelines. A great play.
His second catch of the day. He's got 2 for 29 yards. From the shotgun, a throw and a catch by Troy Brown. Tonight on 60 Minutes.
Huddled on, I think, more so to get a different tempo against the Bills defense.
Brady gets time, lofts the ball beautifully, and it's taken in by the tight end, Jermaine Wiggins. And a penalty marker comes in after the catch. Could be on the defense, a 25-yard gain as Brady, Steve, put a lot of air under that ball. Beautifully lofted. Jermaine Wiggins, a big guy from Georgia, originally from East Boston, makes the grab.
This might be a personal foul, helmet-to-helmet contact in a defenseless player. A very late flag.
There was no foul for helmet-to-helmet contact on number 28. The receiver took 2 steps after receiving the ball. That makes him a runner. That contact is legal. First down.
Good work by Mike
Tip
Carey.
your hat to the guys for pulling that flag up. We'll see here as he comes down with this.
Nice throw.
This is a nice throw. Nice touch on a
catch.
tough throw. Brings it down 1'2" and has a chance to duck his helmet. I think that's a good no call.
So the game could be on the line on this drive. 4:43 to play.
No.
Patriots, as you see, down 9-6. Working well, Steve, with that no-huddle offense when they were running it.
Yeah, it's tempo, Don. It puts the defense on its heels and takes the starch out of the pass rush.
Play fake. Brady looks. End zone throw over the head of Lieutenant receiver Troy Brown. Winfield was with him, but Troy had a step on him.
The play action worked really well on that. The defense jumped into the line of scrimmage thinking the Patriots were going to try and pound the ball in, and Troy Brown, working against Antoine Winfield, came free Brady just couldn't put the ball in there.
Pressure builds as these games dwindle down now. Precious they are. 3 to play for the Patriots, including today. With a 1-3 start, the Patriots are targeting a divisional title in home field in the first round if they can get it. Right now they're behind. Pitch back, and they get Antoine Smith on the ground after a gain of maybe a yard. Tyrone Robertson, a big defensive end, a rookie. 92 makes the stop.
Yeah, this is an excellent job on the play side of the call. Aaron Schobel gets up the field and forces the running back right back inside, and the pursuit caught up to him. You've got to be able to run down here, but both these defenses have been exceptional at stopping the run down close, and it's been forcing the quarterbacks to throw the ball into tight spots for touchdowns.
Third down arises for Brady.
No running backs in the backfield, Don. He's back there by himself.
Got 5 guys running patterns. Here comes a safety blitz, and Brady runs the ball, and he gets ahead and gets down to the 7-yard line, well short of the first down. Nate Clements got him down, but it's a sure shot field goal, it would seem to be, for Adam Vinatieri.
Yeah, the defense was a little bit confused just before the snap. Brady took a step back and couldn't get it. And what happened? Special teams there. This is the miss for Buffalo from outside the same end. This is the one that they missed, was short and weak. And that's been the problem in the kicking game in this stadium at this time of year. You kick into a wind, and sometimes even the short ones move a little bit differently than these kickers think they're going to.
But less wind than usual here. Usually you got an awful lot of wind late in the season in a cold day. Vinatieri from 25 yards. It's on the way, and we're tied. Can you say overtime?
You know, one of the things about that, they went to the no huddle, did the Patriots, and it left a lot of time, 2 minutes and 45 seconds for Buffalo to have a chance to get back in the game.
Here's Coach Belichick. He knew it would be a very difficult day, and it's been. Buffalo's last overtime game was a year ago when the Bills lost to the Patriots 13-10.
You don't want to play. Don't play poker with Belichick. You could win some money from Greg Williams. You know what he's got in his hand. Belichick, you have no idea.
But we're still a long way from overtime. Still 2:45 to play in regulation. Greg Williams, his initial head coaching job in the NFL, off to a tough start. Finally won their second game last Sunday here. This is their last home game. It really gets rough for the Bills. They're on the road for the last 3 weeks. Would seem to favor the Patriots having a very good record.
Yeah, should the Patriots go on to win this game, Don, they'll be in a position they'll have 3 games left. They've still got to take their bye week. They get Miami next week, then they get a bye week, then they're at Carolina.
.245 to go at Orchard Park, New York. The Patriots, the favorite. The 2-10 Bills, the underdog. The Patriots cross the 25 and out to the 27-yard line. Bill Belichick, coach of the Patriots, telling us yesterday, this is going to be a battle. We know we're going to be in one for 4 quarters. And we asked him about being overconfident. He said all we had to do was roll the tape of the first time we played them in November. They really beat us up.
Yeah, the Buffalo Bills sacked Brady 7 times. This is the playoff picture as it stands. New England at 8-5, chasing the Jets, who seem to be going to beat Cincinnati today. New England has got to keep pace. With 2.5 minutes to go, they're tied in this ball game. They've got to beat the Buffalo Bills to keep pace for the playoff run. Their season is on the line in the next couple of series.
If the Patriots and Jets should finish with the same records, of course they're both AFC East, the Jets right now are ahead on the 3rd tiebreaker. Swing pass. It goes to Sean Bryson as he takes on a tackler. Bills gave a lot of trouble on defense to Tom Brady, the Patriots quarterback, in the first meeting, sacking him 7 times. They've sacked him 4 times today. Neither team able to score a touchdown. Brady took a hellacious hit earlier in this game. His helmet flew 10 yards back, but he got right up and came back in the game, never missed a play. Next on the CBS Sports Spectacular, the lights on in cold western New York. Chill factor at kickoff at 1 o'clock was 30. It's below that now, and you say, Steve, this field gets harder as the game goes on.
Both these defenses have been the story. The pursuit and the sacks in the second half for Buffalo have kept them in the football game. The Patriots have not had very many big plays in the passing game, and they've absolutely abandoned the run game, which has really hurt them in the second half.
Alex Van Pelt, working at quarterback, was ineffective in the first half, has played very well in the second half. High percentage completions for Van Pelt in the second half of this game. Now he stands in, makes a throw, and ball is stripped from Eric Moles. A terrific defensive play by Terrence Shaw, number 22 of the Patriots.
Terrence Shaw working against Eric Moles, who's been very quiet today, has made a few grabs, and you see here as he comes out of the break, this is just well played. Eric Moles should have made that catch.
In the second half, Van Pelt has hit 15 of 22 throws for 68%. This is a guy unheralded in the NFL in his 9th year, his 7th with the Bills, but he broke a lot of Dan Marino's passing records at the University of Pittsburgh as a collegiate. Third down, needs a long 4. Throw, catch, didn't get there. Coming back at the ball was Reggie Germany, a rookie from Ohio State. And Otis Smith, the 12-year veteran, was right on him to stop him short of the mark.
And that forces Buffalo to punt the ball back to New England. And New England had a no-huddle drive that went very quickly for their last field goal.
New York with 2 minutes to go. Don Criqui with Steve Tasker. A big reason the underdog Bills are tied in this game. Their defense, Steve, has 5 sacks. The Patriot defense, no sacks of Van Pelt.
And most of those sacks have come in the second half. It's been crucial for Buffalo to pursue Tom Brady and get him out of his rhythm, and it's worked.
Now the Bills punt. Back deep is Troy Brown, best punt returner in the American Conference. Had an 85-yarder for a touchdown last week. Breaks it now across the 30, but a marker goes down. Tackle made by Sheldon Jackson.
This flag on the far sideline doesn't always mean a hold. It could mean an illegal player going out of bounds and not making an attempt to come back in on the coverage team.
Personal foul was against the return team, the Patriots. So Bill Belichick, they were talking earlier in this game about he was 5-11 last year as his first year as the head coach of the Patriots. They started out 1-3 this year. And there was Bob Kraft, the owner, said there was people asking, are you going to fire him?
There was a personal foul, unnecessary roughness by the receiving team, number 23, blocking an opponent out of while he was out of bounds. Yes, 15 yards from the dead ball spot. First down.
Got Antoine Harris for an illegal block, and now Belichick has to be a leading contender for Coach of the Year, but he knew this was going to come down to the wire, and it might go to overtime.
Yeah, he really is. He's one of those guys that puts a really good football team on the field every week. They're well coached, they're well schooled, they don't make very many mistakes despite the penalty they just incurred. This is a team that battles hard and it's very physical. It's one of those teams, Don, you get into the playoffs and other teams around the league say, okay, who are we going to get matched up against in the playoffs? I hope it's not the Patriots.
Well, Steve, you were a key component on those Bills teams that went to 4 straight Super Bowls. What's the key to building down the stretch run of the season towards the playoffs?
One thing that the Patriots have, it's camaraderie. You got to have 53 guys that'll lay it on the line without any guarantee of results, without any guarantee that they're going to get anything out of it except that their teammate has a chance to succeed.
Brady, the star young quarterback who's been held in check today by the Bill defenders. From the shotgun, here comes the rush again. An open receiver over the middle of the field. J.R. Redmond makes his first play of the day. The little-used running back from Arizona State, taken down on the play by Jay Foreman, but it's a 13-yard gain and a first down.
I think Brady was masterful in the series just before this. This no-huddle seems to suit him, and they've been very effective in it.
1:23 to go. Brady again. Fires on the flat, and the ball is dropped by J.R. Redmond. Coming up on the Subway postgame show, join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Subway postgame show. Brady, the quarterback for the Patriots, a 6th-round draft choice out of Michigan. He asked him yesterday how he ended up at Michigan. He's from the West Coast. He said, well, Stanford didn't want me, nor did USC or Washington, the schools I was looking at. He said it became a process of elimination. Threw only 3 passes as a rookie last year. But now after Drew Bledsoe got hurt, he's been the man. He's led them to these 3 straight wins, and here is the ball on the field incomplete.
That ball was very close to being caught on the tip by Kendrick Office. Watch as Brady tries to hit the quick slant. If there's one thing he may do a little too much, it's look at his receiver a little bit too long. You see there, Schobel bangs it off Robertson, and then it's in the traffic. That's dangerous.
Big down now. The Bills fans rise up as one. 3rd down and 10. Bills rallying from a 24-6 deficit last week to win on this field against Carolina. Swing pass. Redmond running. He's got the first down. And he's all the way out to the 45-yard line. So on 3rd down and over 10, the Patriots break a 17-yard play.
They've got a minute left. They took a timeout, and now they need about 25 yards of field position to give them an outside chance at a field goal.
And there is an ongoing battle royal between the young pass rusher Aaron Schobel, rookie for the Bills, and the rookie left tackle of the Patriots, Matt Light. Redmond out of Arizona State. He looked in the summer like he might be the go-to back, Steve, and then he was beaten out by the bigger, stronger Antoine Smith.
Interestingly enough, they went to this no huddle. We haven't seen J.R. Redmond all day, and all of a sudden he becomes a crucial part of this offense when the game's on the line. And now he comes over and stands beside Antoine Smith.
Well, he's particularly good catching the ball, coming out of the backfield, and they need pass offense now to get in field goal range. They have an excellent long-range kicker. There is Adam Vinatieri. He's hit today on all of his tries, 3 for 3 from 40, from 33, and from 25. But he can go long, as you see, a career long of 55. That was in '98 against the Rams. Last week he opened the scoring against Cleveland with a 54-yarder. He can kick in bad weather. Today it's cold weather, not much wind, a flanker screen, and the Bills are there to defend it. Harry Glenn gets the ball, but he's quickly taken down. Watson gets him.
Now the Patriots are running in and out people. They're changing personnel even in the no huddle offense. They bring J.R. Redmond back in for Kevin Falk.
Second down and 12. Long 11. Brady, near side throw, and a near pick is coming up on the ball is Watson. Chris Watson. Intended target was Terry Glenn.
That's the second time Chris Watson has just missed a pick on the exact same route against the exact same receiver at the exact same spot in the football field. He's missed 2 of them exactly like that. And that's why one team may go to the playoffs and the other is 2-10 and not.
They talked about in the golden days of the Bills in the 90s, this was a town without pity is for visiting teams, and now we'll see what Tom Brady and the Patriot offense can do on 3rd down and long. Brady sacked again.
That's huge, Don. Ron Edwards, Aaron Schobel, they have really gotten pressure, especially in the second half today. I think that's been the real story for this defense. Last week was the first game this team pitched a shutout in the second half all year. Today, they've played just as well in the second half.
Brady standing in, and there is Schobel. He's a first-year player from Texas Christian.
And he beat Matt Light very clean, right on the inside move. And if there's one thing this young Bills defense has, it's speed up front, as Matt Light will attest to after that pass rush.
That's been a heavyweight fight between Schobel, the second-round pick of the Bills, and Matt Light from Purdue, the second-round pick of the Patriots, starting at left tackle. Game clock is down to 29 seconds left to go. Brady for the day has thrown the ball 32 times. He's completed 16 for 203 yards. No touchdowns, intercepted once. Now the Bills will get it back.
For the first time, Nate Clements is deep to return punts for the Buffalo Bills and not Peerless Price.
Nate Clements, a rookie from Ohio State, has run a punt back for a touchdown this season. Walter booms the ball high, and a fair catch is signaled for and made at the 16-yard line. So the Bills take over with not much time, a 48-yard punt and no return. Well done by Walter.
Well, in recent years, Don, these teams have played 3 overtime games. Not this past one. The first meeting this year was not overtime. The ones last year were. I mean, this is just 2 franchises that when they get together, neither one can get in much of an advantage.
Well, they expect the close game. Last year was the Patriots winning in really a snowstorm here in Buffalo and Western New York when 13-10 in an overtime game.
And it makes no sense because you see here a Buffalo Bills team at 2-10 just trying to finish strong and put a positive spin on a rebuilding year, and the Patriots on a playoff run with an excellent football team, physical, hard-nosed, yet neither team looks like it against the other.
Van Pelt, what he's got to really look out for now is the turnover. Patriot defense very good at taking the ball away. 4 wide receivers set. Lone back. Larry Centers swings out. There's a ball on the field, and the Bills have it. Very nearly a turnover. Anthony Pleasant comes in with a big hit.
Jerry Ostrowski picks that up, and I mean, if there's one bad thing that could possibly happen, that would be you can't turn the ball over with.
They're going to let it run out now.
And that's the game that's going to go into overtime now, and rightly so.
OT it is at Ralph Wilson Stadium. So Van Pelt comes over, a guy who really has picked up the tempo of this offense with a quick passing game under the first-year coach Greg Williams.
This is absolutely an enormous game for the New England Patriots. You've got to come through with a win today to keep pace with the playoff run the Jets are making.
Close calls. That's been the story of this. This is the 84th meeting over the years between the Bills and the Patriots.
Yeah, both games last year went into overtime, and one game in 1999 did. The game this year, this 10-point game in 2001, that 10-point margin was gotten on the last play by Antoine Smith when the Bills were down by 3 points and were trying to strip the football, and he broke off a 40-yard run. Even that game went down to the wire.
Now we go to the coin flip to start overtime. The referee's Mike Carey. He and his team have done a terrific job today.
To break the tie, there will be one sudden death overtime period. Each team will have 2 timeouts, and fourth quarter rules will apply. For the toss, heads, tails, which is choice. Tails he calls.
The better not to have that Jerome Bettis situation.
You know, they always make them understand the call before they flip it.
Buffalo wins the toss, and they'll receive.
So the Bills will open the overtime with the ball. When we come back in a 9-9 game at the end of regulation, Bills win the coin toss, and they'll receive the ball from Adam Vinatieri to start the overtime. There are their deep men ready to return the ball. Sean Bryson is back with Avion Black, who wears your old number, Steve, so they didn't retire it, they washed it.
That's right. They traded up, too, I think.
Well, if he makes 7 Pro Bowls, he traded up.
4 out of the last 5 games in this series have gone to overtime. That's a broken record. We've been talking about it all day, and it's been no different today.
Here's Vinatieri's kickoff. It carries down to a big back from Tennessee, Sean Bryson. He's a rocket hitter. He'll take on tacklers, and he powers out to the 29-yard line. This has been a game of thunderous hits. Some of them, fortunately, no one was seriously hurt. Watch this and listen. And now the hit on the quarterback, Brady, earlier in the game. He bounced right up.
You want to talk about smash mouth football? This is it. This Patriot team has really been physical all year, but even more so now that they've got a shot at the playoffs.
The Bills go into alignment now. 1st and 10 at their 28-yard line. Opening play from scrimmage in overtime. Van Pelt, tip ball. The Patriots are so good at tipping balls. That's Vrabel who got a piece of it again. The former All-American defensive end at Ohio State, who's been a major contributor in his first year as a Patriot.
One of the things the Patriots are doing when the ball snapped, look at the safety right. They don't go anywhere. They're not going out. They're staying right at the line of scrimmage. Not a single player on the field was deeper than 15 yards. The Bills have threatened them deep, not at all here in the second half. And right now in overtime, Romeo Crennel doesn't believe the Bills will go deep.
On 2nd down, they go back to the run. Bryson running hard, and he gets to the 34. They'll bring up 3rd down at about 5. Travis Henry the rookie lead runner for the Bills, a starter. He went out after a very productive first half with a knee strain and has not returned. So another former Tennessee Volunteer, Sean Bryson's come in to replace him, and he's run well for the most part, a workmanlike day. But the big plays there's not been many out there for either team. The defenses have dominated this game. Game with 6 field goals. That's all the scoring as we're in overtime. Third down. Bills need a long 4. Throw. Tip ball. Incomplete. Very nearly picked. And now a marker comes in from way back.
Oh, it's defensive pass interference.
First down.
Pass interference. Defense, number 22. Automatic. First down.
And you heard it as an automatic first down. First down at a time when you can't afford to give them first downs right there. They called it right there on Terrence Shaw. I don't know.
Sometimes the numbers lie. The Patriots statistically grade out number 24 in the NFL in defense in yards allowed, but they've allowed 1 touchdown in the last 3 games. That against the Jets 3 games ago. None against Cleveland last week, none today. And here is Bryson trying the Patriots, and again they give up nothing to the run. Vrabel again comes in and makes the stop. Vrabel, one of the guys that Bill Belichick said we brought in guys who love football this year. We graduated, as he put it. Some of the guys who don't, they're out of the league.
Yeah, you're right. And it's addition by subtraction, Don. You want to get rid of some guys who aren't on board with what you're doing, and you're a better football team for letting some pretty good players go. And Belichick said, you know, we get guys who love to play football. And
well, they love
believe
to
me,
hit.
the success comes with that, Don. It sounds simple. It's not easy, but it is simple.
Second down. Quick throw. Catch is made. And driving ahead. And over the 45-yard line is Eric Moulds, the Bills' #1 receiver. Thrown back by Terrence Shaw. A 7-yard gain on the play. Coming up on the Subway postgame show, join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores and highlights. That's coming up on the Subway postgame show.
You know, my old coach Jerry Glanville was a great guy for getting rid of guys who weren't on board with him. He took a couple of franchises that weren't very good to the playoffs. And Bill Belichick has taken a page out of that book. Get rid of guys that they don't want to play for you. Now he's reaping the benefits. His team is on the verge of a playoff berth.
Coach Glenn would cashier you. You went with the program, and right now it is a 3rd down and a short yardage play, and they're going to throw it. And they do not make the completion, looking for a flag, and none forthcoming. Ruled that the hit by Otis Smith was right on time, and so the Bills have to punt the ball to the Patriots, who will get it for the first time in this overtime.
Excellent play by Otis Smith. Was all over Eric Moulds. Got there right as the ball did. And the ball was right into the body of Moulds as he comes in. Watch as Alex Van Pelt throws this in right into traffic, and that's a good no call. You're not going to get that call in overtime.
How does strategy change in overtime?
It's all about the players, Don. It doesn't matter what play you call. Your players will execute it.
They play better?
They play better because they know it.
And now a tremendous punt, but it turns into the end zone for a touchback.
Players at this level, Don, thrive on pressure. They want the game in their hands.
Well, the Patriots will have the ball in their hands after a 52-yard punt, but only 32 yards net as it bounces into the end zone. And whatever's transpiring here today, Bill Belichick is not surprised. He expected this to go right to the wire. 9-9 game. Patriots will take over the ball at their 20. First down and 10.
This is the first time Tom Brady will have an opportunity to drive his team, I believe, in overtime to win a football game. He's been very productive throughout the course of the season, but the Bills have given him trouble in both games this year.
They sacked him 7 times at Foxborough. They sacked him 6 times today. 7's coming up, and he doesn't release the ball. He does, and makes the connection. J.R. Redmond out of the backfield.
Redmond, their offensive line has really come up big thus far in overtime, although they've had a rough second half. Brady stands in the shotgun. Crowd noise picks up.
Goes hard. A fastball for a completion out to the 39-yard line. Antoine Winfield makes the stop on Troy Brown.
You know, like I told you, Don, this game in overtime is all about the players. You see the offensive line of the Patriots, they have just been manhandled in the second half. They haven't had an answer for the Bills' pressure. Now all of a sudden you get into overtime and they're a different bunch of guys.
How much difference does playing on the road mean at a time like this?
You're just happy to get to overtime. In a tough game like this, you feel like you've really done something to play this well on the road.
The handoff, and Antoine Smith, the former Bill, who went to the Patriots this year as a free agent and has been their most productive runner. He takes it ahead for not very much.
And I think you and I have both talked about they have really gotten away from him in the second half. I really feel like he's a guy that could have helped them more had they handed him the ball a few more times, especially after halftime.
17 carries, 52 yards so far for Antoine Smith. What a great story he is. After high school, he worked for 3 years in a dyeing cloth in a factory, he said, in Alabama to help support his grandparents who didn't done so much for him.
It was interesting, too. He turned down a college scholarship because he felt an obligation to help them out. And that, I know that when the Buffalo Bills drafted him, that was one of the things that sold them on Antoine Smith, that he was willing to do that for his family and forego a college career for 3 years before he went back to school through the junior college system. He fulfilled obligations that he felt he had to his family, and that sold him at the NFL level.
Yeah, they like the character part of it, and he certainly has that, as well as the ability to run hard. But in the second half, he has only 6 yards rushing. He had 46 in the first half. You said, Steve, they got away from the running game. Now the Patriots dig in. It's third and very short. A power set, double tights. Lead back is Edwards, the fullback. High back gets the ball, and he has the first down for New England as he crosses the 45. Antoine Smith, all 230 pounds of him. That's that low pad level. He's tall, but he can get down low.
Well, we talked to Bill Belichick yesterday, and he said the one thing he likes about Antoine Smith is he's really good in short yardage, obviously because he's so big, but also when they get down close, he has a nose for the end zone. We may see that before this game is over.
Belichick, a big believer in the value of a back, is really determined what he does after the first hit. Yards after contact. Brady setting himself. A lot of different formations. Brady rolling, throwing, making a connection to Troy Brown. Hit hard. Ball's on the field. It might be the Bills' ball if it's ruled a catch.
And it is.
It is. Caught and lost. Deion Carpenter came in with a big hit. Clements on the play. This might be reviewed.
Well, there's a big huddle and a lot of talking going on down there. In an overtime game, you'll never see a more difficult situation than an official has to have, is to call a forced fumble, incomplete pass, turnover right on the sidelines. Everybody's got something to say about this one, Don. As you'll watch here as Brady lets it go. Great throw as he pulls it down. That's a catch, no question about it.
What a hit.
I'll tell you what,
here it is in full speed.
Now it looks like maybe perhaps the ground might have caused the fumble as well. Now watch, he'll catch this ball, take the hit.
Interception, catch, fumble, first down.
There you have it. Well, they call it an interception fumble. I don't know if they can do that because what it was a catch, fumble, and a recovery.
It's being reviewed by instant replay.
It will be reviewed. And as you know, it has to be indisputable evidence in the replay review to overturn the call on the field. And the call on the field was catch and subsequent fumble, Bills possession.
This play is going to be reviewed, and here it comes again from this angle. You get a chance to see it. The ball's there, his feet come down, and there's the hit, and the ball. It's hard to see the ball where it came out. after the contact. Now he's got the ball in the top of his hands and he brings it in as his feet hit the ground, tucks it away, then ducks for the hit. Now where's the ball? There, it's out.
Yeah, it is out.
It's out. It's a fumble. And Nate Clements jumps on it.
The Patriots, following this game, have another enormous game. They'll go to play the division-leading Miami Dolphins at Foxborough next Saturday, a game you'll see here on CBS. Today, the Dolphins will have their hands full. They'll be playing the 49ers at San Francisco. Here's Keon Carpenter. But clearly a fumble.
Yeah, and he hit. That's Patton, the receiver, and the ball ends up under his foot right there.
We see it in super slow motion to make the decision, as the officials do, but on the field, they're playing 100 miles an hour.
And I think you got to say that right now it looks like the officials made the proper call.
They did.
I mean, at 100 miles an hour, say what you want, they got it right.
In overtime, the reviews all come from upstairs, as they do in the last 2 minutes of each half during regulation. So it was reviewed up. The call for the review came from upstairs. And right now the ball is positioned at the 41-yard line. But we'll wait for Mike Carey to come over.
He hasn't put his head into under the hood yet. Once he does that, the clock will be ticking. And I got to be honest with you, Don, I think this is one that's going to take a couple of looks.
Well, it should take a couple of looks. There's a lot on the line here.
It really is. He catches it, both feet are down. He has a chance to duck, and the ball pops right out. The thing about that catch, you remember, he's got both hands on the football and both feet come down at the same time. And now I guess Mike Carey has already been under the hood.
Here's Mike Carey.
We are reviewing whether the recovery of the fumble was inbounds or out of bounds at the time, making sure that the ball was inbounds during the whole process.
Sure looked inbounds from here. If this is a turnover, it'll be New England's third.
Yeah, I think David Patton has the football. Now watch what happens. There's the hit by Carpenter. Now Patton is out of bounds, but he doesn't have possession of the ball. And actually, yeah, I don't think there's any question that Nate Clements recovered that ball inbounds.
Buffalo came into this game today with only 12 takeaways, the fewest in the NFL. But they have 3 takeaways today, and they have a lot of sacks again. 6 sacks, a very similar parallel to the game November 11th that the Patriots won 21-11. When they were sacked, they gave up 7 sacks of Brady. Their pass blockers did. And they had turnover problems. So everything looks to be call on field to be upheld.
And that's just one more enormous hit that we've seen during this game today. Once Tom Brady's helmet was flung 12 yards backward, Travis Henry got hit, flew 5 yards out of bounds. That hit a moment ago that you saw. And I'll tell you what, Don, you look at that guy Tom Brady, and it's his second year, and you see him come in and you sit down and talk with him. He looks like he's 15 years old, barely old enough to have a driver's license, but he's so well grounded you'd think his feet were planted in the ground. I mean, they were like buried a foot deep in the ground. I mean, this guy,
he got planted a couple times today, but not like he liked to be.
He's so unaffected by it all. And I think that's the thing that I think endears him to his teammates as much as anything, plus the fact that when his helmet went flying the other way, he got up and shook it off.
We're going to take another high end zone look. Making very sure of this, and now Mike Carey, the referee of this game today, comes out ready to make the official pronouncement. The play stands as called on the field.
After reviewing the play, there was a catch. The ball was fumbled. However, while the receiver's head was touching out of bounds, he was in contact with the ball, making that out of bounds. New England will keep the ball.
Well, there's what you don't see often. He was not in possession, but in contact with the ball.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
So renewed life for the Patriots. They keep the ball.
And I'll tell you what, Don, for a defense that needed it, the Buffalo Bills, that's a kick in the stomach. Watch here, and this is what happens now. He gets hit, the ball will pop out as he rolls up.
I thought I've seen everything. I've never seen this.
And that's the ball's out of bounds right there. As you see his head out of bounds.
So his body was in contact with the ball. His head was out of bounds as the Bills are starting to come over the wall now, being worn back.
Yeah. Don't cross Mike Carey. The reason I say don't cross Mike Carey is the last game I played after a 13-year career, he threw me out about 2 minutes into it. And rightfully so, I might add.
Well, it was a little iffy. At Green Bay, you bumped into a guy.
He probably saved me a broken leg. But I'm telling you, even though that happened, I have a great deal of respect for him and his group.
Terrific
he's one of the top officials. As you said, Don, he's only been in the league 12 years, and he skyrocketed through the officials because of situations like this. He makes the right call, even if it makes his crew look bad, for the first call. I mean, this guy...
How many people would know that rule, that the ball stays in the possession of the team with their guy is out of bounds, he doesn't have his hands on it, his leg is on it?
Well, there's a guy right there that probably is just now being informed of that rule.
Ralph Wilson, the greatest Buffalo Bill of them all. And here comes the run, and again, Antoine Smith comes out of the gap. He broke a long touchdown run in the first meeting, and he would go down inside. Is he going to go in? He's going to be ruled out of bounds at the 2. In the first meeting, November 11th, late in the game, in a close game, he broke a 42-yard touchdown run against his old team. That was a 39-yarder, and it could be the knockout punch.
We said a moment ago, the one thing Bill Belichick liked about Antoine Smith, he's good in short yardage, and he's got a nose for the end zone.
Well, he turned that short yardage into long yardage. Stopped, and he comes out of the pile, and off he goes. Antoine Smith, the former Buffalo Bill, former #1 draft choice, in his first year with the Patriots, makes maybe his biggest play as a Patriot. An overtime run that takes the ball down to the 2, 1st and goal.
And just a moment ago, when the Buffalo Bills thought they had a key turnover, they couldn't recover from the misconception that now turned into a long run.
Bill Belichick almost saw the game end on that run by Antoine Smith. And that could be moments away from the game ending on another Antoine Smith run. Here he is. Now they're reviewing where the spot of the ball is. As you see, his left foot touching the white line. All of the white is out of bounds. So he did not make it into the end zone, but he got close. It'll be 1st and goal, Patriots.
Yeah, it's going to be right where he spins, and Antoine Winfield right there coming in is going to take his leg out. Right when he spins out, his knee's going to come down. When that knee comes down, right where the ball is, right there, just on the 2.5-yard line perhaps.
Game-saving tackle, but very close to the goal line. So what a remarkable turn of events. It looked like in overtime that the Bills would get the ball on a turnover, and then we find that the leg of the player who fumbled the ball was...
Fans know that their guy jumped on the ball in bounds. They don't realize that David Patton was touching the out of bounds line and had his foot on the ball, which makes the ball dead.
Patton was half knocked out, it looked like, Steve, and his left leg was resting on the ball.
Yeah, we said it just before the snap of the ball. For the Bills defense, that was a real kick in the stomach, and obviously because of this play right here, they couldn't recover from it fast enough to gather themselves and keep them out of the end zone. That ball should be outside the 2-yard line, and they've got it marked inside or just outside the 1-yard line, so the Bills may pick up about a yard of field position right here.
Well, it would seem from this point a sure thing that the Patriots, if they don't get it in 3 tries, will kick an easy field goal. It'll be like an extra point for Vinatieri. But sometimes the ball pops out before you score.
Right there, the ball's right about the 3-yard line.
Doing the play. The runner's knee was down while the ball was at the 3-yard line. 1st and goal from the 3.
Well, as little as that sounds, Greg Williams will take it at this point.
You know, the irony of that with the player's leg resting on the ball, if that was in the middle of the field and he wasn't out of bounds, that would not be considered possession of the ball. That could be taken away from under his leg.
Certainly.
Which is exactly what the Bills did.
That's what the Bills were thinking when they thought they had the turnover.
Have you ever seen that before?
No, I've never seen that before. And right now we'll see. We'll see if Antoine Smith indeed has a nose for the end zone.
He's got that.
As Belichick told us that he did.
Patriots 24th in yards allowed in the NFL, 24th in defense, but 8th in the red zone, the 20-yard line in, and 11th in points allowed. They've allowed no touchdowns now in the last 2 games, just 1 over the last 3 games. Power set from the 3-yard line. And they're just going to look to kick the field goal as Brady just centers the ball. He gets to be midway between the hashes to make it as sure a shot as possible. And now with extra downs, they'll send Vinatieri out.
That's right.
In case of a bad snap, you get a chance to do it over.
Right. They'll take the bad snap. They'll just fall on it and try it again. But I wouldn't anticipate anything of that nature happening. Vinatieri, as you see, 3 for 3 today with a chance to win it right here.
Stranger things have happened, but the odds are enormous that Adam Vinatieri is about to end the game. But before he can, the Bills want to ice him as they call a timeout. This is Don Criqui with Steve Tasker back at Ralph Wilson Stadium, Orchard Park, New York. The Bills and the Patriots meeting for the 84th time, being back to when they were originally in the American Football League when they came into his cornerstone franchises back in 1960. Greg Williams seeing some heartbreak today. It looked like his team could be on the way to an upset of one of the NFL's best teams, but now the Patriots, like the good teams do, Steve, find a way to win, and they're lining up for a field goal try that'll end the game. Vinatieri, the kicker, has tried 3 field goals today. He's hit all 3.
They've overcome some obstacles here in the second half. They got a lot of pressure from Buffalo. They gave up some sacks that cost them some drives. Couldn't get any points on the boards, but their defense played solidly enough to bring about this opportunity for Vinatieri.
23-yard field goal by Vinatieri. Bills got offside, so they'll get another try if they missed it, but they don't need it. Vinatieri drives it up and through, and the Patriots win the game in an all-field goal game, 12-9.
Defense decline. Good.
So the Patriots find a way to win their 4th consecutive win. They now go to 9-5 with a huge game that you'll see here on CBS next Saturday against the current division leaders in the AFC East, the Miami Dolphins, at Foxborough.
Once again, Tom Brady plays well enough to win. I think he struggled once again for the 2nd time this season with the Bills defense. Look for the Dolphins maybe to copy that, and here's the final kick in overtime for the game.
A sure thing. So Vinatieri, 4 tries, 4 field goals, Patriot victory, and the Patriots drive on towards the playoffs, closing in after a 5-11 season last year and a 1-3 start this year.
Patriots have 2 games left next week against Miami, then on the final weekend of the season following a bye week in Carolina.
And that will do it. Vinatieri's field goal decides the game. So Greg Williams, his team battled for over 60 minutes today, on into overtime, but unable to pull it out on one of the most unusual plays you'll ever see, one that you or I and maybe everybody watching has never seen before. It allowed the Patriots to maintain possession of the ball after what appeared to be a fumble and recovery by the Bills, and the Patriots capitalized, getting the 39-yard run from Antoine Smith to set up the winning field